And
Hey everybody, how are we
hello.
doing? Hope you're all doing well. It's great to see you all. Hope you're all doing well. We're here. Obviously, a very, very exciting day. It's great to see all
Yes,
of you
sir.
in the chat this afternoon. And lots of you have been waiting already. Already many hundreds of you in the chat. I think I saw some numbers over 600 already here on
Oh,
twitch.tv/SCS software. And of course, we're also live over on Steam as well. Lots of you waiting in the Steam chat over there as well. It's great to see you. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to our very, very special Colorado release stream. It's going to be an exciting one, isn't it, Nimiro?
it is. It is. I'm full of adrenaline. I'm
It's been a
nervous.
lot leading.
A little
I
bit
mean, yeah,
nervous.
it is nerve-wracking, obviously a little bit, but we got lots of great things lined up for you today. We've got some awesome special guests who are going to be coming on the way very, very soon. Obviously, we're joined by our good friends that you already know, Nimiro, in the studio in Prague.
Hey everyone.
But he will be our dedicated driver for today.
And
He's been
above me there is
practicing.
Alex somewhere here
Hey,
above
everyone.
me.
Yep. And for those of you who don't know either of us, we both work in the community management kind of marketing sort of side. But
Yes, sir.
I think most of you know us. I've seen a lot of familiar names in the chat already, and I know all of you are ready for Colorado because we've really been hyping it up, haven't we, Nimiro?
Yes.
There's been lots of exciting blogs coming out on the development. There's been lots of really cool streams as well. And we're finally here. We're finally here on the day. I can't believe it's come around so
The day
quickly on the 12th of November. And it's really, really great to be with you. Of course, we'll be releasing Colorado for American Truck Simulator at 7 p.m. Central European time. However, we do have a blog post. Definitely go check that out at blog.scssoft.com. It gives you all of the information you need to know. You need everything. It tells you about when it's releasing in your time zones. We've got multiple time zones there. We have the, of course, hashtag Cruising Colorado event that will also be starting as well. We'll talk a little bit about that more a little bit later. And also some other great things as well. So, what's going to be included in the DLC, what kind of new features are coming to special transport, for example. So definitely go take a look, blog.scssoft.com. Where's everybody tuning in from today? I'm really, really excited to know because we've got a lot of you here with us today. Let us know which country you're tuning in from. I've already seen some great messages coming through. Here, one from Steam. Faye says, yes, it is. I admit I rarely watch the developer streams, but as this is my home state and I drive in real life here, I can't miss this.
Okay.
I'm on a sleeper on a laptop at the moment, so I can't enjoy the DLC myself until I get back home. Well, it's great to have you on board, Faye. It's really, really good to have you here, and safe travels. But yeah, great to have you here along with us. But glad to hear you're very, very excited to see your home state. And I know there's a lot of people who are watching from Colorado, which is really, really exciting as well. And where are we starting off in Colorado, actually, Nemo? Where are you right now located?
We are now in Denver at the airport.
They're in Denver.
Yes.
Beautiful. Great place to start. And speaking of countries, lots of you watching here. We're going to start listing them all off from the chat because you're just going crazy in the chat. We've got Chile, Canada, Poland, Helsinki, the US, India, Wisconsin, Georgia, Colorado, Utah, Michigan. We've got Turkey, Norway, Netherlands, United Kingdom, Oklahoma, Greece, Belgium, Canada, Argentina, Pennsylvania, Nebraska. I think we've got the whole of America here. Greece, Alaska, New Mexico, Ukraine, Suffolk, Hungary, Ireland, Netherlands, Singapore. They've got people watching from over in Asia as well. Dominican Republic, Oklahoma, Croatia. We've got people from all over the world. Wherever you're watching from, it's fantastic to have you along for this stream today. And we really, really hope that you're going to enjoy it. We've got some really cool guests coming on the way, don't we, Nimiro?
Yes, we have. And I'm already like 3 meters out of the start and just scratched the trailer. That's all the nervousness, It's such a big day, such a big milestone for us.
There's been a lot leading up to it. I gotta say, there's been a lot leading up to it. So I know it's a little bit of pressure, but I'm sure you'll do fine for the rest of the drive. And you're, of course, driving our brand new truck, the Western Star 4900, and you've got it in a beautiful yellow paint job there, with the red splashing across it as well, with some large coils.
I need to set a few more keys and buttons.
Sounds good. Get yourself set up.
Yeah, for some unknown reason, every time we try to stream, this steering wheel needs to set up from the very beginning. Don't know why.
Well, you're going to be doing a lot of driving today, so make sure you get those set up for sure. because you will be our dedicated driver. And like we said, we've got a couple of special guests coming in on, and of course, we'll be releasing Colorado live on the stream as well. And we're also going to give you a few opportunities as well to win yourselves some keys for Colorado as well. So do stick around if you want a chance of winning a few of those. We do have a few keys to give away. If you're looking to win something for our loyal community, because we really do have the best community ever, as we say here at the SCS Software, and it's true. It's absolutely true. Also, lots of our colleagues as well in the chat as well. Big, massive shout out to them and anyone who's watching as well from the SCS offices. I know there's a few little watching parties going on, so hello to everyone. It's great to see you as well. So yeah, Colorado. I mean, I can't believe this time has already come around. This year's just flown by.
Tell me about it. It
And,
feels like yesterday that we've been releasing Idaho DLC.
Right, yeah, and it's not just that, but I was also thinking before the stream, when did we first talk about Colorado? It was on the Christmas
last year, I guess, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're in November now, so it's not too far away from like almost like a whole year, right?
1 year, yeah.
Which is crazy. I mean, I can't even think about that.
Yeah.
So,
we're getting old, man.
The realization that time is just flying by. So, but since then we've talked a lot about Colorado, shown you all sorts of different blogs, shown you all sorts of different areas, and today we're finally excited to get it out to you, of course, at 7 p.m. Central European Time today. And Namira, you've done a lot of driving in Colorado for our past,
yes, sir.
Many different developer streams and stuff like that. Maybe you could tell us a few things that you really enjoy about Colorado.
Well, I mean, for me, the most impressive and most cool thing was when I was driving and recording the drive through $1 million highway. That's definitely one of the most beautiful parts of this DLC. But then also, as I was recording the second gameplay video, which was from Denver to, if I'm not right, Grand Junction through E70, that's also like a breathtaking view. But you know, every time I like streaming with you the new content here on Twitch and Steam, I like really easily get lost and just enjoy the ride, you know. Sometimes I like to need to ask what you've been talking about, because I'm like just watching through the window, enjoying the ride and the scenery. And also like Denver Airport, there's like actually there's one of the special transport missions starting at Denver Airport. And other than that, I mean, like, we are now heading to a city I've not been there yet, Rangeli. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. So I'm pretty like looking forward to see what's this city about. We will see.
I say, I mean, we haven't even got to explore it all ourselves yet on the streams. So, you know, we're still exploring Colorado all this time. So you can see how large and expansive it is. You know, there's lots to explore, lots of little roads off the side, as well as main highways as well. So there's definitely plenty of driving to do, for sure. People are calling you a red light runner. You need to be careful of those red lights. They catch you out, I'm telling you.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I mean, speaking of special transport, maybe many people don't know that you actually play quite a big role in the special transport world, right?
Yeah, I try to do my best there. I'm like the one who's like making these missions and trajectories. So yeah.
And in Colorado, there's actually
3.
Correct me if I'm wrong. 3 new special transport routes, right?
Yes. And
in Colorado.
And on them like multiple missions. I think like somewhere about 20 missions in total on these three trajectories.
So there's a lot of variety and different kind of cargo types and sizes that you'll be taking through these routes, right?
Yes.
And what's kind of like the process behind that? Would you say it's quite a long process to kind of create those routes? I imagine as we get new different trucks in, and you have obviously different areas of the map that are like maybe much more narrow. You have to try and find suitable routes. I imagine there's a lot of planning that goes into it, right?
Yeah, you first have to like actually try to drive through the path or through the route you would like to create, if like with the biggest cargo possible, to see if that will fit in under every bridge and at every intersection, etc. But you know, it was way harder when we started with this DLC, because back in the time, the world that was already built was not always ready for these big cargos. But now with the new DLCs, our map designers are already aware of the biggest like dimensions of the cargo, so they like count on it when they are building some bridges or intersections. They count to basically create everything ready and drivable through with the biggest cargos of this special transport DLC as well. So basically with the new DLCs, it's just like to pick some nice route that would make sense, you know, from, for example, from Denver Airport, because like Denver Airport is also used for like big cargo planes landing there, etc. To some, I don't know, to some other part we want to like show to the community, like for example the gold mine in Colorado, you know, and then just create the route.
And I can imagine there can be quite a lot of unique industries. Obviously, each state that we add, there's obviously unique industries to each of those states when you go to it. So, for example, you're mentioning the gold mines in Colorado. Of course, back in the day, that used to be quite a big kind of gold rush era, and those gold mines still exist and are the biggest in the state and one of the biggest kind of incomes for the state. And I imagine it's quite fun for you to kind of then, I'd really love to kind of highlight that area and create a route from it, right?
Yeah.
And do you then also add like different cargoes related to the mining as well? So you might have like a big dump truck or something on the back, etc.
Yes, like this DLC have like I would say 11 cargoes, and obviously we always try to think about like from which company what cargo would fit, you know, in a logic. Like we don't probably don't want to like be hauling a transport helicopter to, I don't know, to Walmart, you know, or to like a supermarket or like or grocery stores, etc. So yeah, definitely. And we have this massive dumper attached to 3 parts. There is like the tires of this massive dumper, then the chassis of it, and also the bucket, I would say. And all these 3 cargoes like make sense to be hauled to mines and then of course also to the gold mine. So these 3 you can definitely look forward to be hauling to the gold mine in Colorado. Yeah.
Awesome, yeah. And like I said, and like we've seen from our many blog posts and also from our driving here on the stream as well, there's a lot of really cool different unique industries that are coming up with Colorado, and lots of other ones that you may have already seen. Of course, a lot of states kind of share similar industries and economies, you know, things like forest industries and stuff like that. You can expect to see those as well. But of course, on each one, our teams they like to switch it up a bit with kind of newer prefabs and like different kind of graphics changes and stuff like that as well, and kind of add a little bit more immersion to each of them. So really, you might think, oh, there's a few of the same kind of existing areas, but in reality, for these industries, definitely go check them out, because you know there's always something that's different about them. And I think Colorado is a really shining example of how far our map team has come with American Truck Simulator. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous state. I mean, the best thing that I have about my job in SES software is that I write the blogs. For those who don't know, I get to research a lot about the states, and Colorado has just been really, really surprising. And that's a really, really cool thing, because I didn't really know much about Colorado at the start, and now I know a lot more. And it really is a beautiful state. You know, there's a lot to see there. There's a lot of really cool landmarks, and it actually makes me want to go there. Someone that we're going to be talking to later, Patrick, our map lead, had
they were there, right?
To visit, and I'm actually quite jealous now thinking about it, because they had some really, really incredible views and.
Man, he's gonna be flexing about it. He's gonna be flexing.
It really is a really unique and a beautiful state, and it really makes me excited to check out more of it, of course, in American Truck Simulator. And I know lots of you as well in the chats with us live here on Twitch and on Steam are as well. Maybe you can let us know what you guys are most excited for. Is there any landmarks that you might have seen, or cities or towns that you might know of that you would you want to go head to first? Let us know in the chats. We would love to know. I know Colorado Springs is quite a popular destination. A lot of people have been saying, and also kind of like the ski resorts as well. I know you would love to be up in the mountains now for sure.
I would love to visit Aspen.
Yeah, Aspen. Beautiful, yeah, and they got the cable car and the stuff up there as well, and the lovely hotels. Sounds like a dream, man. People talk about the $1 Million Highway, of course, another beautiful part of Colorado, and one that, again, I think surprised me and a lot of people in game at how beautiful that is, and also how a little bit scary it is as well.
Have you seen some images like how it looks there in the winter?
Yeah, with the snow and stuff like that.
And it's so close to like to actually drop down from the hill. Like there is no railway at some parts.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what surprised me most about that area. There's no safety guard rail.
Yeah.
Like you have to be really careful. So I mean, it does offer some really stunning views, but at the same time, it's a little bit scary. I think we talked about it in the past actually on stream about one of the reasons they never really confirm why it's called the $1 Million Highway. There's no one story. There's multiple stories, and it's up to you to choose which one you want to believe. But one of them was that a man said you'd have to pay me $1 million to go on this highway because he was so scared to go on it because of how dangerous it appeared to him.
I don't know, man. It sounds like you always come with a new story when we are talking about this.
This is what I've heard. This is what I've heard. Just some rumors, going around. This is what I've heard. Another one, of course, the most famous one being it has $1 million views, which I believe more.
Would you go there if someone will give you a $1 million?
Yeah, I'll do it for $1. I mean,
yeah, true.
I'll take the $1 million. I'll take the $1 million. I'm okay with that.
For $1.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, yeah, good stuff. A lot of people talking about different areas as well. Breweries, Glenwood Canyon, the Four Corners Monument.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Man, like.
Yeah, this is something as well that I've noticed as well. There's a lot of really awesome kind of like cut through highways where they've cut through like the mountains and the valleys or built it within the valley. Of course, Colorado being surrounded by a lot of mountainous areas and parts of it, including obviously the famous Rocky Mountains as well. You do get these absolutely stunning views, and couldn't ask for a better office view, right? As a truck driver. It is it's really fantastic, and something that I would love to get more in depth on, because I think we've had them as a guest in the past, but the team that's responsible for the kind of the rocks and creating the assets for the rocks and stuff, they keep upping their game every year, because the detail in some of the formations and kind of look of the rocks as well. It seems like a lot of people, the feedback I've been seeing anyway from the videos and stuff is that they said they've really got it on point.
Me too.
That they've really done like a really good job with it. And a lot of people commenting saying that is, it's almost true to life. And I mean, I want to put it out there. I'm not sure if anyone who follows our social media saw a tweet that we put out the other day, but somebody actually tweeted their digital road trip. I'm not sure. Did you see that one, Amira?
No.
You didn't see it?
Yeah,
it was,
I saw that. You mean the Twitter with a lot of like continuous tweets?
The Twitter thread. We tweeted it on our Twitter.
Comparing always like a shot from the reality and one the same from the game. I
would love to see that. I would love to see that for this state as well. If there's anybody from Colorado, and when you get your hands on the Colorado DLC, you want to make some comparison shots with some of the real life locations and the in-game ones, it'd be really cool to see, because we'd love to know how good it looks in comparison, which is really fantastic.
Yeah, now driving through one of the landmarks as well, right? The Eisenhower Tunnel.
Yes, long tunnel. And I'm not sure, I don't know about you, but I know in the UK we've done this, but as kids, did you ever, when you go into a tunnel, you have to hold your breath?
Hold your breath and try to hold it until the end of the tunnel?
All the way until the end. It was kind of like a challenge that we did as kids.
Okay.
I don't know if we had tunnels as long as this in the UK, but
you should bring this on before I answer it. We could try. We could have tried it.
We could have tried it, but I don't know if anyone remembers that, or if that was just me. Maybe we're just being silly in the car. I don't know. And of course, another big thing as well that's returning.
There is a viewpoint. There is a viewpoint.
This is literally what I was about to mention. Is of course the Viewpoints, which was brand new in our last expansion for American Truck Simulator, and we're really pleased to again bring them even more into Colorado. Let's take a look at this one. Wow, nice one. Yeah, so highlighting the tunnel here that goes right through underneath the mountain. Look
how I parked.
Yeah, make sure you park your truck nicely for the viewpoint. That's one thing that I learned. That this is obviously like a live kind of moving camera shot. I assumed that maybe it would. I don't know why, but when I stopped my truck on a hill. I think it was at one of the industries, the forest industries.
It went down.
It was like a view camera of like showing the forest and stuff, and then it just in the background I see my truck with the handbrake off, just slowly rolling down the hill, and I was like, oh no. Oh yeah, so make sure properly park before you do your viewpoint, handbrake on, make sure you're safely in spot and parked nicely before you start your viewpoints.
Imagine it, you know, the camera's still going and all the like epic scenery moves, and then like your truck reversing down the way, causing disaster.
Just straight down, yeah. I can't imagine that. Good stuff. Well, hello everybody. If you're just tuning in, I see a lot of you saying hello in the chat. Hello. I hope you're all doing well. You're tuned in live with us here for the special Colorado release stream. We've got lots of great content on the way for you. Right now, of course, we're joined by a good friend, Namiro, who will be
hello,
joining us throughout, I think, the majority of the stream, driving for us, but we also will be joined.
I'm your Alfred right now.
That's it. Yeah. Our chauffeur for this evening. But we'll also be joined by a variety of other special guests as well. We'll be joined by the likes of...
Actually, one of them should come soon.
Oh, yeah? In the next half an hour?
No, in the next few minutes.
Minutes?
In the next few minutes, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
I wasn't expecting it so soon. I thought it was at the next hour, but maybe not. But yeah, we'll be having
Annie. First gonna be
is our first guest, yeah, who hasn't been on the stream before, so very excited to have her on the stream.
Be kind to them. Be kind to her, chat.
And then also afterwards as well, we will be having Patrick, ATS map lead. He's been on before, but a pleasure to have him back as always. And then a little bit later on as well, we'll be having special guests and our CEO Pavel join us for a very short while as well for the main release. So all very, very exciting. So do stick around with us for sure.
Okay, I can see Annie is already in the studio. So I guess
nice one.
Philip gonna prepare a microphone for her. Then we will just like for a few moments we will switch a screen on display that we are right back, and then we should be back live with Annie next to me.
Sounds good.
Should I use this ramp?
It's always very tempting, isn't it? These runaway ramps. It's kind of a nice add-on. Yeah. And for those who are wondering, yes, you can use the ramps. I tried it out. When I saw one, I actually may have started going faster on purpose. But
really?
It's quite fun, man. It's quite fun just to go up it.
Isn't it hard to like reverse back after?
Don't worry about that. You have fun in the moment.
Don't worry.
Deal with it later.
You have fun. Like you have 30 tons truck. Just have fun at the moment. Oh, I should keep myself in my lane. So, but yeah, those are working runaway ramps, but a very nice addition to see as well, of course, in Colorado. But with these steep hills around the mountains, of course, you need them. True.
So, for sure.
It's because of like sometimes the brakes can like be too hard or like slipping through. Or So it's like for it's for trucks who cannot brake, right?
Yeah. So basically,
some malfunction on brakes or whatever.
Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes when a truck is going down a hill, they'll obviously keep in a lower gear, and they'll use their brakes to keep themselves from rolling too fast forward because of all the weight they've got behind them if they're loaded. And if the brakes do fail, then that is a spot that they can use to then manually brake, I guess, use gravity as an emergency brake, basically, because they sends them up and it will slow the truck down. Okay,
so the truck will slow there down just like because of the ramp is up in the hill, or
it's steep. Yeah, it's steep. So it's just gravity. Yeah.
Okay, I thought that there is some kind of like sand that you will just like
Well, yeah, there is that as well. Like there's the gravel, of course, going on dirt as well. The friction loses the friction of the wheels and such like that. But it uses a combination of both that, as well as the gravel as well, to slow it down. It's kind of like the gravel that you get, in the races that you see, like Formula 1 and stuff like that. Really slows them down. So there's both of that.
Okay, cool.
Very cool. But luckily,
I mean,
No
those
failures for you today.
I mean, those moments definitely. I suppose they are not cool when then something that happens to you in real
I
life.
can't imagine they are. I can imagine they're quite scary actually
Yeah.
when you think about it. I think it would be a little bit of a scary experience in real life, but I decided to have a little bit of fun with it in game because yeah, you can kind of get away with that and not be too scared about it. But I imagine in reality, yes, it would be a little bit of a scary one for sure. But this, I mean, driving through this where you're driving now, stunning. I love the
Yeah,
rocks and the look of the formations as we come through here.
I love the
Really beautiful.
I love the part of the day right now. You know, as the sun
Mhm.
as the sun shines only to like on a part of the mountains.
100%. The best time. They call it the golden hour, right? Where everything's just kind of like in a blaze with gold light. Really beautiful and really, really a lovely view. Yeah, big whales in the chat. I mean,
That's
see
amazing.
what I
Like,
mean? This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. You just kind of get lost in it. You almost like lose concentration because of all the scenery.
I want to drive it again. Right, get me back at the start of this mountain. Like,
You turn.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
that
for sure.
but here I can see on my GPS advisor that we are about to another viewpoint and also a rest stop. So I think we should
Ooh.
like drive there, and that would be the point where our first guest will come to the stream.
Okay, sounds good.
If I can like drive there, actually, I don't know. How can I get there from this point?
I don't know, man. You're the driver. I thought you knew. I thought you knew these things. I was trusting in you, my friend.
I mean, I can like teleport myself there, but I don't want to. Okay,
So
I think that there is no way to like exit the highway here and drive there.
maybe just pull over on the emergency side there. Just park over on the side. Put
Okay.
your hazards on.
Let's do it.
Sounds good. All right, folks. Well, we're pulling over and we'll be back in just a few moments, but we will be joined by our first guest momentarily. So do not go anywhere. Some very exciting content up on the way, and we're going to be chatting with Annie, and she'll introduce herself more in a
She's
little
getting
bit.
ready already.
Yep, but we'll be back with you in just a few moments. So do not go anywhere. Obviously, we're here for the release of Colorado. You're tuned in with us live at SES Software, and we'll see you back in a few moments' time. See you there, folks. Hey everyone, and welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. It's good to have you back. Nimo was obviously just with us, and of course, we're now joined by a very special guest with us on stream. This is Annie, everybody.
Hi,
And
Annie.
she
Hey.
is one of our 2D artists here at SCS Software. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing amazing. I'm so excited for the release, and I'm so happy to be here because it's the first time for me.
I was going to say, yeah, it's your first time on stream, and it's great to have you here. It's really a pleasure. And well, you're obviously you're a bit newer to SCS. You've been here with us for a while, but for those who've not heard of you or seen your face before on stream, could you maybe introduce yourself?
Well, my name's Annie, and I'm a 2D artist here at SCS Software. What I do is I mostly take care of branding and concept art, which, well, Nemiro's gonna show some of my work.
I can show
so
it.
You're gonna see it.
Whenever you guys are ready, I have something to show from Annie's work.
He's
So feel free.
He's got it already on a different tab, and we'll talk a little bit about that very, very soon. So Nimro is now our dedicated driver for the next hour. I'm sure he'll look after us well. Don't damage the truck too much more, okay, Nimro?
Come on, man. I never ever did. So.
All good. Well, if you're just joining us, folks, welcome. We're really excited to have you with us here on the stream. We're live on Twitch and on Steam as well. It's good to see you all. There's lots of you watching from around the world, so we're really grateful that you could be joining us this evening, of course, here for the very special release of Colorado for American Truck Simulator, which releases in just a couple or more hours time at 7 p.m. CET, Central European Time. You can find out all the information about the times it's releasing in your part of the world at blog.scssoft.com, and also on our socials as well: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. We're over there. Follow us at SCS Software. You can also find our individual game pages as well. But yeah, let's dive right into it. You've talked a little bit about what you do. Maybe you could talk about a little bit about your history here at SCS. When did you join, and what kind of things you've been working on?
Well, I joined SCS in March. Well, I've been here for around 8 months, and Colorado it's actually kind of special to me because this is like the first DLC that actually has a lot of my work in it. So this is the first release where I can say like, yeah, I actually worked on this. Look how cool that is. And essentially, what I do is that I create all these brands both the brands that the players actually interact with, as well as we call them cosmetic brands. And there are quite a few of them in Colorado. We've got a pretty nice new series of fast food chains, which
I think one of them is
eventually.
Actually here.
Yeah, they're all over.
Pardon me that I'm
map.
just like, I just deployed my drone out of the track.
Yeah, there's one of them.
Drone shot. I think that
no.
this here we are, Alex, speaking about food again.
Exactly. This is what I was about to say. We always somehow get on the topic of food, and I forgot to eat before the stream, man. So this is probably not a good choice for me, but we're gonna suffer a lot probably.
Yeah, you're gonna suffer a lot because most of my artwork is focused. It's very food focused. So
dang it. Okay. But yeah, I mean that's one of the newer ones there. That's the Taco Kingdom, and like you're saying, you know, you're responsible for bringing these kind of new, fresh kind of food places and different, kind of scenery and such for different shops and all sorts. And maybe you can explain some of the ideas for them here. We've got Taco Kingdom here, one of the, I guess, concept arts that you created.
Yeah, basically like the most important thing is, and what I'm essentially going for, is to create something that is very, like to the player, that is very recognizable, but that doesn't plagiarize any pre-existing brand. And it's a very difficult task. And even though what you're seeing here, these are just like the very like final concepts. But I've created like dozens of different designs just for each individual logo, because sometimes it would take us weeks, like on and off work, obviously, but like it would take us forever just to come up with something that we were all satisfied with, because we care a lot about, we care about like the safety, you know, let's say the legal safety of the brands as well as their look. And I personally care a lot about the way the brands fit into the world and the way the player. I just want the player to feel at home, you know, and I want the brands to not feel detached from the world, which is why, like aside from these buildings, obviously I've also created concept art. We've got like quite a few vehicles that are just like drive around the map with like different advertisements for these brands, as well as billboards. and it's one of the things that I like enjoy doing and that I like really focus on. It's just like making it all, just come together.
I love it. I mean, I'm looking at it now on the stream, and it seems like what you've gone for is it's very, very vibrant and also kind of out there. Because I mean, of course, these places they want to be noticed. I mean, in the real world, that's kind of like how they entice people. Like, hey, come in. This place is cool. This place is colorful, and it seems like you've really nailed that with these places and kind of given them a familiar feel, as you were saying.
Well,
And
I hope you're not angry, Alex.
yeah, we're gonna get through this. It's fine. Don't worry. I'll be fine.
If anyone in chat's getting hungry, we are really sorry.
Yeah. But talk us through, like you're saying about how this can take a while. How many like designs do you come up with? Like, can it be hundreds? Can it be like 10, 20? Like before you have to whittle it down to this final design that we're looking at here.
That really depends on how big of a deal the brand is. Some of them, if it's just like a cosmetic brand that we know is just gonna, show up on maybe like this model here, then I don't really like even consult it with that many people because we know it's not that much of a deal. It doesn't like, it would, I cannot like, I can give it too much time because it would be a waste of time naturally. So there are brands like that, but like these brands, the brands that we like really care about, like I would say on like the top of the food chain, so to speak, are the brands that the players interact with, and they
looks so cool, man.
They let's just say there's a lot of like love and hard work put into coming up with the names and the visuals as well, and then like all the other like billboards and banners and props and all the other stuff that features the visuals.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, these are just.
I was gonna say, and these are all places that players can find in Colorado in game. All of these pieces
all
that we're
of
looking
this,
at right now.
all of this is in Colorado, and we've got. Let's just say like, I cannot leak anything, but there's more to come in the future.
Awesome, yeah, fantastic.
Featuring
really looking
these brands as well, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see kind of like these kind of fresh new brands popping up around these DLCs. And I know a lot of the time we do have our regular ones that people kind of see in game and are familiar with. But of course, America's a big place. You get all sorts of different kind of food places and shops and all sorts all around America, and some that are only even really kind of localized to one area. I mean, I'm going to say some brand names here, but I hope people don't mind. But like, for example, In-N-Out is only like on the West Coast, for example, but you won't find it on the East Coast. And it's kind of cool to see that maybe in the future we could be having more kind of like unique ones per state, right?
Definitely. I just I'm gonna use this opportunity to kind of like give a huge shout out to our research department, and because like I couldn't do what I do without them. And just like when you mentioned like we've got this on the East Coast and this on the West Coast, and they're the ones who give me all this information, because as someone who lives in Europe who's never been to the US, this is like it's extremely essential. And yeah, definitely like. What you're seeing here, this is all going to be in Colorado, but...
And these are billboards actually, right?
Yeah, these are billboards, yeah. These are all over Colorado.
You do not want to miss the deal, this deal.
Are you hungry yet?
That's hilarious.
I'm not going to answer that question because I'm just going to keep saying yes to it.
Can we get a cappuccino here with a donut, please? Anyone?
Yeah, I'll take one. I mean, it's really, really cool to see the kind of the detail that has gone into all of this, and also even when it comes down to the styling of each of these designs that you're showing off, they all have their own kind of unique style and look to their brand here. I mean, the difference between the donut and the taco one was really, really cool to see there, and a lot of people are excited in the chat as well, saying
are they?
they're really, really happy to kind of see these new little bits coming. So it's really, really great to see, but they look fantastic.
Trust me, this was like coming up with like all the different ways the totems would light up. That was a lot of fun for me. And the donut one, can you show them?
What, the donut?
The donut on the map, preferably at night.
Oh, let me try. I have a few coordinations here.
Yeah.
Go for it. We got requests. You got this.
Donut. Maybe this one.
That was probably like my favorite brand to work on.
Okay, yeah, let's check it out. I'm excited. I haven't even seen it myself personally, so this will be a first for me as well.
Okay, our game just like, maybe I quit it instead of alphabet. Give me one moment.
Nemiro, when he's not crashing in the game, he's
crashing the game. so
dear.
so you all got some jokes on me, right?
That's it, man. That's it. So speaking of your work, have you worked with food stuff in the past previously to when you've worked at SCS, or is this your first time doing a project like this?
Honestly, this is my first time. Like I said, I haven't been at XCS for that long. I've been here for 8 months, which is a short time. There are people here who've been here for like a decade. Okay, so just to put that in comparison. And this was actually like my first big project here. And at first, I was like super scared. I was like, oh my god, like this is way too big. But I was just like, it was an ambitious project, and it was like, you know, I've been here for a week. Let's do it. And I dove right in, and it like this was probably like so far the project that I enjoyed most, definitely. There was a lot of pain, a lot of frustration to go with it, obviously. But you cannot have like love without frustration.
I mean, this one or the bigger one?
Course, yeah.
Yeah. Can you? Is there a totem anywhere in the area?
Is there what?
A totem. Yeah,
Totem
this.
here.
Yeah.
You want
At tonight, preferably, because that one's the coolest.
It should light in a few moments.
Yeah. Waiting.
Hope
for
so.
it.
Don't let us down.
Don't let us. Yeah,
Here it is.
Oh, there we go. Wow, look at that. That is so cool. It must be almost weird for you to kind of see your stuff come to life like this in the map,
It was
right?
honestly, it was like the first time. Like I'm not just so that Chet knows. Like I'm the 2D artist. I don't actually make like any of these assets. So that's the work of the 3D department. And like the first time, like whenever I am sent screenshots of my work in 3D, I'm just like looking at it like, oh my god! Like you can't really see it because I'm wearing a face mask, but I'm just like sitting there with my mouth hanging open.
Yeah.
Like it's real. They made it
looks
into
really,
a real
really good.
thing. And this one was definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I love how vibrant that is with the pink color. It really,
Yeah.
really stands out
That's
at night. I mean,
one thing I just love about like the US and like fast food chains in general. Even though I'm not a big fan of fast food, I love the visuals. They're just like so out there, so in your face, so kind of aggressive. And I was like really trying to capture that feeling, and I hope I succeeded.
right, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's going to be nobody who's not going to be able to see that from miles away. I can imagine myself now, you're going down the highway, and you can just see that donut glowing in the distance. You're like, yeah, I'm going to take the next exit. I'm going off here, yeah. Okay, so this is another one that we're looking at here, and this is a coffee
break.
place, right?
Yeah,
Coffee
this
break.
is like your generic coffee / I don't know, breakfast kind of place.
How do you drive it? Do you drive it in like on a graphic tablet or?
Yeah. I use a graphic tablet.
Wow.
Yeah, it's looking really cool, and it's really nice to see how the concepts are made as well.
I can draw even
imagine,
this like.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine myself drawing something like that. So it really is a talent for sure, and it's really, really awesome to see in the game as well. A lot of people giving you lots of compliments in the chat about it as well.
Yeah,
Again,
thank you, Chad.
it just stands out, and it's really, really great to see, and a lot of people are excited for that. So from this point, you said you started literally just the first week as you joined SCS. Was that correct?
Yep. This was like one of my first projects. I was just like given this project, like, hey, we really want this, and we believe you're the person for it. And I was just like,
so really puts into perspective like the time that it's taken to get to this point. How many months that's been now? It's been what, 7 months?
7-ish,
months?
yeah, but the project's been done for a while, and also first of all, I work on both games. I am both on American and Euro Truck Simulator, so I work on multiple projects at a time. It's not like I cannot say that I've worked on nothing but fast food chains for 6 months.
Here it comes, Alex. Here it comes. More food billboards.
Thanks, Neil.
What was the question again?
We all getting.
I was just talking about the time frame, like of how the process from the start to finish, how long it was taking.
Yeah, the process.
And it's your first project.
Let's just say,
So,
like the most, like what came first was the brainstorming part when we were just like trying to come up with different names, and I was just like sketching up the logos, and that was like probably like the most frustrating part because like we would scrap a lot of designs. Like sometimes you have a design and everybody likes it, and you're like, oh my god, finally after weeks we have something we like, and then 2 days later somebody's like, you know what, this kind of reminds me of this thing, and we probably like shouldn't go that way. Scrap it, start over, and that kind of. the beginning of project was kind of like more frustration, but then eventually, like gradually, it changes into like the real, like genuine enjoyment when you like have like the set of brands that you're happy with, and now you get to slap them on everything, and you can slap it on this car and that billboard, and you can create this totem and that totem and this prop and that prop, and that's just, and then you're just like brainstorming, you're trying to come up with all these like new ways to reuse the asset as much as possible, so that the world feels believable. Because that's just like how it is in real world. Like wherever you go, you've got advertisements bombarding you from every directions.
Mm-hmm. And have you actually? I mean, you said that you obviously haven't been to Colorado, but have you been to the States at all? in your life
No, I've
before?
never actually been to the States.
Never. So really, you really did rely on the research team. I know that, like you said, they do
Yep.
an absolutely fantastic job.
They do an outstanding job.
Yeah, and I imagine it really played an important role of how it kind of shaped these designs and how they look and the feel of them. But a lot of people, again, saying that they really fit in well and they look really, really great, and kind of obviously remind them of some of these places. We actually have a lot of people from Colorado watching. I wonder if anyone here can vouch for a few of these places as well. Let us know in a chat what you're thinking. We'd love to hear your feedback, of course.
I love it.
But have you managed to check out much of Colorado for yourself?
Honestly, as somebody who is a 2D artist and mostly stares at the Photoshop screen all day, I don't actually get to play around with the map a lot, sadly. But that makes like the where the map is actually like showed, like revealed to me. That makes it feels like Christmas. I remember the first time Patrick, our DLC lead, showed me the $1 Million Highway. I was just sitting there like completely amazed, because like you said, you asked me if I've ever been to the States. I've never been to the States, so I only know the States from like pictures,
Yep,
pictures,
and movies,
videos.
like that.
That's about it. It's all two-dimensional, and I don't get to interact with it. And God knows if I ever will, when I will. But in American Truck Simulator, all of this comes alive. It's suddenly three-dimensional. Like I can interact with it. I can just drive around and enjoy the environment I otherwise wouldn't get to enjoy. And that like that
It's
for me, like when I
moving as well. It's
that one's actually
That's
animated.
so cool.
Oh, really?
Can you
Big
see
props
it,
to our
Alex?
3D team, yeah.
It's like
Wow, look at that. I did not even notice that detail. That's a really cool detail.
Big props to our 3D asset team, because that one is actually animated.
That's really, really cool. Yeah, I mean, it really just brings the immersion in, and it's just, what it is? It's really just these little things like this, and obviously these really out there kind of designs as well that really make this DLC something special and almost like another level up. And we always say this every single release stream. I know you haven't been with us long, but every single release stream we've done, we've always said, this DLC is amazing. The map teams and the art teams and research teams are always stepping up their bar, but we really mean it, because it is really, really cool to see places like this and new additions and little things like that, like a little animated sign and stuff that just make all of the difference for these drivers who are obviously trucking in game, much like Nimura is about to do, I imagine, again now, set off. Oh, he's checking out some of the billboards here as well.
yeah.
So the placement here of this one, is this actually near one of the industries, Nimura?
I think it's like where the power plants are built, the wind plants. Maybe I should like turn back the light.
Yeah, because this one, I imagine, is quite a different kind of research or kind of thought process for you, because this is much more business oriented.
Technically,
right?
this one
serious. Right?
But yes, Alex, it's one of the companies you can like hold jobs for in Colorado.
Yeah.
The one that's building the basically the wind power plants. That's the Vitas Power, and he did the billboard for it.
Because if you let me, technically this one, that's like the only one that I like didn't create a logo for. This is an old brand that we're just importing from Euro Truck Simulator. So like this is like the only thing in the folder.
I like how you actually put like some like elements of dirt on it. Can you see it? Like that the billboard is like
it's just a part of the texture.
It's like part of a texture that the billboard is like used. It's not brand new, all clean. Like it like looks like it's standing there for some time. Basically, exactly the same way like billboards in real world looks like.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, again, talking about that design, it's very different, obviously, kind of design work from the fast food places, because obviously those are much vibrant and out there, but the billboards that are like this for kind of more serious industries, they're very businessy, aren't they? They're very like straight to the point, very clean, like looking in design. So it's very different for each one.
It's a huge challenge, especially like when, for example, I'm tasked with like the creation of, let's say, 60 billboards, and they're for all types of industries, and like I have to go from these like crazy over the top, advertisements for like fast food chains or what have you, fashion brands, to something more business-like, and or even like graphics that are meant to look ugly on purpose, because just like we're trying to reflect the real world, and just like in the real world, not all, sometimes you've got graphics that are not really like particularly pretty.
Yeah, right. And this is another thing that we've got here on screen now that you've worked on.
Yep. That is
so this is emergency vehicles.
Yep, vehicles. That is another thing that I work on. It's and they are again like one of my favorite things to do. Honestly, like designing different looks for vehicles. This is a like a private ambulance.
Yeah, I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, they have private like medical transport, private ambulances in the US, which is, I don't know, a bit weird, I guess, for us in Europe, because we have like just the hospitals, that are
exactly.
They're just one kind of like generic green visibility design. But in the US, they actually have multiple different private companies that run ambulance services and transports. And so I can imagine there's a lot of different kind of companies and brands that have different looks on their ambulances out in the US.
So the looks, they are so over the top sometimes.
Really?
Yep. Like you've got vehicles with like cable designs and just like
So basically, when you call like 911 because you're hurt, they will send you like private medical or paramedics to you.
I guess it depends on your insurance, right? I think that's something that plays a big part. I don't want to get political, of course, in the chat. We don't need any more of that.
Chat. I'm sure the chat knows.
Yeah, they know. But yeah, I think it depends like on all your different kind of insurance, if you have better insurance or not. But yeah, you have like I guess your public ones, and then you have your private ones as well. So
this is one of the new companies, right?
Yeah, it's right. The brewery, right?
This is actually the brewery that is the USBB, and Trucker Cola is sort of like a derivative of it.
Okay.
Which is our own unique American Truck Simulator exclusive drink. Carbonated
very cool.
drink.
Can I have
Are we
one,
making it a real thing? Are we making it a real thing? Are we gonna get actual bottles?
I don't know if we're making it a real thing. I don't think we're making it.
That'd be cool to see. And what was kind of like the inspiration behind this line? It's really cool. You've got the tire tracks, of course, in the background behind the bottle cap.
Well, I think like the inspiration here is quite obvious, like which brands we got inspired by. And honestly, this one was just like me having a bit of fun, being like, okay, like how crazy would that be if I just named it Trucker Cola, just for the sake of it.
That's perfect.
And everybody kind of liked it, so we went with it.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks really, really good. Yeah, nice colors again as well. And what have we got here? This is more of your work. We've got a lot to look at, it looks like today. Oh, so more of the cargo kind of transport AI vehicles.
These are AI vehicles. They're all over Colorado. Some of them are actually drive on the roads. Some of them are parked. They're like parked all over the place. There are a few at the airport in Denver.
Yeah.
And again, like this
Maybe I could try to find them in Denver.
They're definitely at the Denver airport.
Stopped again.
Yeah, again, like you were saying that a lot of these kind of trucks in America and stuff, they love to have their big designs on the side to make sure everyone knows what they're transporting and what they're advertising, and buy our food, come to our place, we're delivering it. So again, just adding to the immersion, which is a really, really nice thing to see. And I imagine a lot of people are enjoying seeing as well, because it's just all those little things, they add up and make a big difference within the Colorado DLC, and hopefully more DLCs to come as well. We love to see those things, which is really, really nice. And everyone so far has been really enjoying the work that they've been seeing so far. Let us know, folks. We'd love to obviously know your thoughts on everything we see here, but I'm really, really liking it for sure. It's really great to see those kind of out there brands and different designs and stuff like that. And it's also very interesting to see the amount of designs that you have as well in terms of your thought process. Like we're seeing all those different kind of
and that was like just
different ones, right?
Just like a fraction. Like what Nemero showed is like the most polished stuff. They're just like the different variations of sort of like the final designs, but there are many designs that.
There's like a whole variety of them.
Yeah.
So Nimuro is going hunting for one of them.
That's
This is the company,
USBB,
I guess.
Okay, so this is the brand new industry. Yeah, so this is the brewery company, USBB, as they got up there on the giant logo with the flags outside.
Beverages, I think.
And here are some of the static vehicles as you're talking about. And yeah, they got the roller shutters. I can kind of see design on the side, and again, with your designs on the side, it looks really nice. So I guess you'd have these main trailers here that the truckers would deliver to the main warehouse, and then you have the smaller ones that would go out and deliver locally, of course. But for our drivers who are going to be delivering to and from these industries, you'd be obviously going long haul with all sorts of different cargo, I can imagine. I'm not too sure what some of the cargoes are. Do you know any of them, Nimuro?
Excuse me.
Do you know some of the cargoes that come to and from the bottling plant or the brewery?
Cargoes?
Yeah.
I mean, like it's got like the drink and beverages, of course.
All right.
I would say bottles as well.
Nice.
Probably some like other
stuff
and like water and some like materials.
But yeah, another really nice industry with the branding, of course, all over it, representing.
We can check in what they have to offer.
Yeah, sure. Let's have a look.
Let's see.
Sorry, Mr. Cable, we won't be delivering you.
Don't crush it, please.
Very funny.
You've only got to drive
Hey,
a few
George.
meters, Nimuro. You got this. That's it, man.
Can't you guys talk about something else, please? Okay, so we have a forklift and beverages. Should I pick the beverages? But I'm scared of triple trailer. Let me switch it into driver.
Come on, man. Should have gone with the triple trailers.
How can you say come on, man, when you both are making jokes out of me, even without triple trailers? Come on, come on. I'm not. I don't want to commit suicide here. I'm going to all safe.
Yeah, go for it, man. If you want to take a job, go for it. See where it's going. Oh, it's going a long way.
Oh, no, sorry. No, sorry. We want to show Colorado, not Ontario.
Yeah. What about the forklifts? Are they going anywhere?
The Focus are coming to Boise as well. We need to visit a different company. Or maybe we could look for a quick job.
Sure. Check out some more of Colorado. If you're just joining us, folks, welcome. If you're joining us a little bit later, I hope you're all doing well in the chat. Of course, live on Twitch and on Steam. And, of course, you're here for the Colorado release. We're joined by the lovely Nimuro and Annie right now in the studio. And we're checking out some of the artworks and designs that she's been working on, as well as, of course, doing a little bit of trucking around Colorado as well. I say... We haven't done this yet, but we've actually got some keys to give away, haven't we, got, Nimuro?
Yes, sir.
So I think we should do a giveaway.
Do it.
Of
Just do it. Just
we'll
do it.
Should we do 2 keys?
Up to you, man. Up to you, man.
What was that? 3, 2? We can
3.
do 2.
I say
3.
Yeah, let's do 2. Let's do 2. Oh, let's do 3.
Let's do 3.
Any says 3 is let's do 3.
We'll go 3. We'll go 3. So what we're going to do, I think it would only be appropriate because we're talking about some of your brands. Annie, would you like to choose one of the brand names that you worked on as a keyword for the giveaway?
Oh my god.
A keyword?
Let's do coffee break.
Coffee break?
Yeah.
That's your favorite. Idea. That's your favorite company?
I'm not sure I have a favorite one. I guess so. It's the coziest one, They sell coffee and croissants.
Was it spelled like normal coffee or was it like COFI?
COFI, yeah, it's like...
Yeah, coffee break. So what we're going to do, folks, we're going to give away 3 keys for Colorado. Obviously, the state expansion that is coming out today in a couple of hours' time. And we're going to be giving away 3 keys in the chat. All you need to do to enter is type the words coffee break. That's COFIBREAK, all one word. And if you want to win yourself a key, just type that into the Twitch chat. So twitch.tv/SCS software. Lots of you already spamming it in the chat, and you could win one of 3 of our Colorado keys to drive when it releases a little bit later on. So coffee break in the chat. There you go. It's been spammed like crazy. I don't think I'll be able to chat for a little while because they'll be going nuts with the keyword here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's going like a million miles. It's a million miles an hour. It's like a really fast elevator. It's going. So, but yeah. All right. So Nimrod, you're also checking out here some of another industry, which is the wind power, like we mentioned earlier.
It's actually the Vitas Power company.
And another unique. This is new to Colorado, right?
It's new to Colorado, yeah, but it comes from Euro Truck Simulator actually.
Yeah, right. So yeah, first time in
America. It's not
America.
a new brand. Yeah, first time in America.
That's it. Which is really really cool to see. Of course, wind power is in America. You do have a few plants across. Obviously not as popular as Europe, I don't think, but there are quite a few different wind plants to have or see around America, and this is our first one in Colorado, which is really really exciting to see. And where are you heading to, Namiro?
I'm heading to Cedar City.
Cedar City,
yeah. Coastline mining.
Lovely. Sounds good. So we're out on another road trip, and while Nimiro is getting started on his journey here, again, coffee break in the chat. COFIBREAK. Coffee break is your keyword if you want to win one of 3 of the Colorado keys we're giving away that you can activate later on for release for American Truck Simulator if you want to drive along in Colorado as well. All right.
This road is so bumpy.
Yeah. And is it? I don't know if have you played on a wheel before, Annie, on the ATS?
Honestly, at home, keyboard and mouse. I don't have a wheel.
Keyboard and mouse. I was gonna say.
Because like I don't get to yeah, it's crazy, but I don't get to like actually drive around a lot, sadly. Because
we should bring her to like one of the interview gameplay streams, right? And parking challenge. Right? What do you say, Alex?
I don't think that's a good idea. I don't even have a driver's license, guys.
I only got mine recently as well, so don't worry. I can understand that. So before you joined the SES, were you studying actually in art and design? How long have you actually been doing drawing for in 2D graphic design?
Technically, yeah, I studied for a bit, but I didn't finish my degree. So like, and for the most part, I think I am self-taught. This is just something, yeah, illustration, graphic design, and all this stuff. Like, it's just what I've always enjoyed, and I've always been a huge gamer. Like, well, just about anybody in game dev, and I've always like wanted to do game development, but didn't really know. Didn't think I could, to be honest. Like, I just like didn't know how to.
How to get in?
How to get in? Yeah, exactly.
Here I am now. How old would you say when you started, like, kind of drawing for the first time? I know a lot of people start off when they're quite young. Did you learn a little bit later or more recently, or was it like quite a while ago you started?
I've been drawing all my life, but I only started taking it seriously when I was like 18-ish, I'd say, 18, 19.
Like, and what would you say was like your biggest inspirations for it?
Oh, I have so many inspirations for like different. Because the thing is, I do a lot of things. Like, obviously, I do game art, like I do concept art, but I also like I like to draw comics in my free time, illustrative works, and sometimes I animate a little bit. And there are many different artists that inspire me. So it's definitely not just one or even like 10 names.
So it's like always been something that's been very, very passionate to you and very kind of close to you, and it's something that you very, very much enjoy. And so this is almost a bit like a dream job almost in a way to kind of cross over those paths for gaming and drawing.
And I'm still like looking to expand my horizons. Like, I wanna dip my toes into 3D more.
Oh right, okay.
That is like one thing I just wanna play around with, and also wanna get like back into programming, just a little, because it's fun, and I like.
Of course, yeah.
I wanna just anything I can get my hands on, I wanna try out.
Yeah, get experimental, as they say. Kind of start to learn different things and learn a few skills as well. But there's nothing wrong with that, and that's really cool to hear. I mean, obviously, it's great to have you here at SES, being one of the kind of newer members of the team, but not the newest, of course. Like you said, you've been here since kind of the start of the year, so it's really great to have you along, and it's really awesome to already see some of your work being implemented in the games. Again, like you said, you're probably quite happy to see it yourself. It's
super exciting.
It must have gone like so far, because this year's gone really fast as it is with everything going on. So I can imagine like kind of the time has kind of flown by for you, you know, kind of getting to work on this.
It's been a very, very weird year, yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like things simultaneously feel like forever ago, but also yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Like, how does that make sense? But it does.
It does. Yes, and that's the way it is, unfortunately. Like, I remember you mentioning to me that it's kind of unfortunate when you joined us. It was literally just a week before we had to start working from home. So I imagine that can't have been easy, and that must have been quite a challenge for you in that sense.
That was a really huge challenge to me.
Yeah, but I'm happy that you're kind of being settled in with your colleagues and people that you work with closely as well. And it's really, really great to kind of to see your work around. Obviously, a lot of people are looking forward to seeing what else you can produce in the future.
I'm excited to see that as well. And you mentioned that like it was difficult for me to start my new job and then immediately go into quarantine, and it was extremely difficult because that's the thing about SCS is that like this environment it's incredible. Like the office, the people here, the passion. It's just. This is when I started working at SCS, and I came into this like new environment. It felt like it was out of a dream, you know. Like suddenly I'm around all these people who everybody's like on the same wavelength, and we're all here because we love video games and we love making video games. And I just like felt at home right away. Like I love my colleagues, love this office, and love my job. Yeah, this is. And I cannot wait for this pandemic to be over and for everybody to come back.
Me too.
Yeah, it feels like forever since I was last at the office. Yeah. But I mean, I completely agree with everything that you say about the people there and the teams. It is really, really special here at SCS Software. And it's days like today where we really come to see the work of everyone together. It's obviously very, very exciting for a lot of our colleagues. And unfortunately, we're not able to do our kind of usual traditional kind of get together that we usually have. Nemira obviously knows in the past, we usually kind of have a big office party where we come together with food and drinks, and we can just celebrate that we've, all worked hard and come together to kind of see this final product. But I know a lot of people again are out there watching from our teams, are watching different watching parties across Discord and such. So big shout out to all of you. I hope you're all doing well and keeping safe. And well, it's an exciting day for all of us, and of course, thank you for all of your hard work going into this DLC. For those that were involved in it, of course. It's really fantastic to kind of see it all to come together, and Colorado is just such a beautiful state, like I mentioned earlier. I've learned a lot about it through my research, and it's really awesome to kind of see everything come together. And we're really excited as well for everyone to check it out for themselves. Of course, we have the Cruise in Colorado World of Trucks event that's going to be starting as well with the release of Colorado, where players can earn rewards by trucking around Colorado, checking out all the different industries and all the different cities, and racking up miles as well, and achieving the personal and community goals to earn some really, really cool rewards. We'll have to talk a little bit more about that later and get into detail of that. But that's a very, very exciting one. So do check that out at our blog.scssoft.com. Right, before we run out of time, because time is flying, let's get our giveaway winner rolled, I think. So if you haven't already, coffee break in the chat, COFI break. We've got your last call here. We're going to roll the winner in just 1 minute to win one of 3 Colorado keys that we're giving away. You can earn yourself the Colorado DLC for American Truck Simulator, obviously the state that is releasing today at 7 p.m. Central European time. It's all very, very exciting, and it's a very, very fun day for us all. Okay, 30 more seconds, folks. People re-spamming. You have to just enter once. That's it. I see a lot of copy and pasting going on. Just once, chat. Just once.
How many entries do you have there?
They're getting too excited themselves. They're getting too excited.
Alex, how many entries do you have there?
A lot.
Thank you. No, okay, that's okay.
To say the least. I mean, to put it into perspective, there is about 3,000 people watching on Steam and about over 1,000 on Twitch. So we're popping right now. That's for sure.
We're gonna be famous. We're gonna be famous, man. One day.
We're all famous, family. We're all famous. Okay, 10 more seconds, folks, and we'll roll our first winner of 3. Okay, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's roll our first giveaway winner. We're getting a bit of a drum roll because we don't have a sound effect for it. And our first winner is Black Forest Trucking. Congratulations, you've won yourself Colorado for American Truck Simulator. Congratulations. I'll be whispering you shortly on Twitch, so make sure to keep an eye out on your DMs there. Our second winner is Zip L _. Congratulations, you've also won yourself a Colorado key.
I love your drum
I'll also
rolls,
be in
man.
contact with you shortly as well. Thank you, man. I've been practicing that. I've been working hard on my desk drum. It's an acquired skill. It's an acquired skill. And our third and final winner for this giveaway is all_Butch. Congratulations, my friends. I will also be in contact with you shortly. There's our 3 winners for this part of the stream. We do have a couple more keys to give away as well throughout the stream, so do stick around. If you didn't win this time around, we do have a couple more ways. But GG, can we get some GGs in the chat, and can we get some PogChamps and whatnot as well? Congratulations to everyone who participated and who won themselves a key. All right, man, you got a long journey into a different state there, so maybe you have to stop at the state border. But
yeah, I will stop. I will stop somewhere here.
Denver?
Denver, what?
Denver. The car's in Denver.
Ah, Denver. Yeah, we are driving.
Yeah,
Denver.
you can drop off in Denver. Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it. But if you have any questions, folks, for either Namiro or Annie, then now is the time to drop them into chat. We have just about 10 minutes left remaining with Annie until our next guest joins us on the stream. So if you do have any questions that you want to ask, drop them in the chat, and we'll do our best to try and answer them from you. Of course, there are things that we may and may not be able to answer. Anything about future releases or things we haven't announced yet, we cannot talk about. But anything to do
Which way is
about
the
their
airport?
work or anything, then let us know.
Which way is the airport here? I think this way.
I don't know, man. I've not been to Denver myself, so I'm not too sure. Do we have release times? Yes, we do. 7 p.m. Central European Time is when Colorado will release for American Truck Simulator. If you're looking for your local time zone, we have those posted on our blog as well, blog.scssoft.com. You can find all of the times and info there as well. Someone said airport is on the northeastern part of the city. You're going the wrong way, my friend.
I found it.
We found it.
Let's deploy. Let's deploy the drone.
Got it.
Whoa.
Um,
Navigation is crazy.
Vojek Game is asking Annie,
Yeah?
are you from the Czech Republic? Because your English is really great.
Yeah, I am from the Czech Republic. I not just from the Czech Republic. I am Czech. Thank you.
Oh yeah, here we go. So
yeah.
here's some of the...
yeah, we've got these cute little vehicles all over Colorado.
This one is pink.
I'm loving it. Little
This
pink
one
cab
is-
as well. Happiness in every sip.
Happiness in every
Truckers Cola.
Are you
Ca-
thirsty
like,
for
yeah,
Trucker Cola, chat?
Can I have one? Can I have one, please? I could use one right now.
Me too.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you with that. That's really cool. So they're all dotted around, and you said there'll be static and moving ones? So you'll see them on the road as well.
They're both static and moving ones. There should be moving ones. I think there are.
They are kind of cute, like these cabins. Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Cool. Good to see those in there. And of course, you will see them yourself when you get trucking in Colorado. Make sure to add it to your Steam wish list if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you for your support. We really do appreciate it. Oh, where's this question? Oh, the chat's going so fast. I keep missing it.
We have 7 minutes. We have 7 minutes, man, until next guest is coming.
Come on, Alex.
Find it.
Sorry,
Find it,
chat.
Alex. Oh, something happened here.
You got a detour?
Some major crash.
Oh, no.
Firefighters there.
Oberbayer89 was asking, what would you say were the biggest challenges when creating some of these designs?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
is
good
a good
question.
question. Yeah, like I feel like generally the biggest challenge is that you wanna come. Let's say there's like an existing brand that you wanna come close to. You wanna make your brand like as recognizable as possible, so that the player feels like right at home. But you don't wanna create a parody. I think like that's for me that is like the biggest challenge.
It's like balancing.
Like creating something that is recognizable, you know, like the general style, but it's also unique, so that like no one can say, yeah, like they obviously like copied this brand or that brand. That for me is the biggest challenge.
I think something that I've done in the past as well, when I've dabbled a little bit in doing some artwork and stuff, is that you think you have a really, really good idea, and then you realize that you're just actually pretty much drawing kind of the exact same design that already exists in your mind. Like,
and also another thing is that like sometimes you often like you do it unintentionally, just like because you don't know that there's like this massive brand that like has a logo that looks just like yours. Like that's the thing. Like I'm not from the US. We have a whole research department. They give us like all the material that we need. But even then, like sometimes things just evade us because we, you know, we're not gods. Like we cannot see everything. So yeah, like sometimes like we create design. Like I create designs. We agree on design that we're happy with, and then we learn that but you know this huge brand like they changed their logo in the last decade. But before that, it looked just like the one that we just created here, and we cannot have that. And then we like scrap many hours of work, and that's just like it's not like just about like the type that's getting scrapped. It's more about, you know, sometimes you're just like really proud of an idea or a concept that you come up with, and you're like, oh, this is so clever. Like I cannot wait for this to you know make it into the game. And someone comes like, yeah, actually we cannot have this because of this and that reason, and you're like, yeah, you're right. And it's just sad, but that's just how it is. Like you have to make compromises.
yeah, that is the way it is. The Reasonable Person, nice username, here on Twitch saying, thanks so much for joining us today, Annie. It was great to hear from you. We really appreciate your hard work, and we hope we can see more of it soon. So more of a comment than a question. But it seems like they're very
Thank
much
you. I'm really
enjoying your work.
happy to be here.
Joe, I think we already answered this question, but saying, will we see more of Annie's work in future maps and such?
Yep, definitely.
I imagine we will.
Definitely, yep. I work on like
pretty soon, actually, right?
pretty soon. Yep.
We cannot share anymore.
I've only been at SCS for about 8 months, but let's just say that I work on every DLC for like both games. So if there are any like Euro Truck Simulator fans in the chat, then yeah, you're gonna see a lot of my work in the upcoming months.
That's it. Soon TM, that's for sure.
Soon TM. Yep.
Alex, that's gonna backstab you soon. This comment.
And oh my goodness, the questions are rolling in. Mini Me 98 saying, Annie, which building or car did you enjoy designing the most?
Oh my gosh, I can. Yeah. I don't think you've shown them the posted cars. Can you show them the posted cars? They were a lot of fun.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It was definitely like all of the trucker cola stuff, even though it's just cosmetic. And then I think it's gonna be Donut Planet for me because it's, let's be honest, it's pink. It's pink. What else is there to say? Did you download? Yeah.
Posted? You want?
Oh yeah. These were a lot of fun. These are all concept arts. The final designs, they're like a mixture of these.
Maybe it's in the.
These were a lot of fun, yeah.
Well, there you go. Posted. Another one to look out for on the roads of Colorado. Very nice looking.
This one's my favorite.
Yeah, you got the typical kind of American mail van that they use there. That's pretty cool. And of course, using the I think the arrow in the O, is that kind of like a nod to the other company?
What is this for?
You know about the design, right? You know about the design?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's a little nod. It's like, you know, the brand is like clearly it's unique. It was like created from the ground up, and that's like a little nod, you know, something recognizable.
Good stuff. Well, it's really, really a cool and nice pleasure to see all of your work here coming to life in the DLC. But unfortunately, that is all we have time for with you. But we really appreciate you having you in the studio and well, for being with us and to talking with us and showing off your designs and such as well. A lot of people really enjoying seeing these fresh new designs coming to the Colorado DSC. Is there anything you'd like to say to the community before you disappear for a little while?
I'm just gonna say, be on the lookout for more of my work, and I'm just so happy to be here, and I'm grateful for everybody in the chat for joining us here today. You know, to have this like little celebration because of the coronavirus restrictions, we can't really like have a party of anything of that sort. So we can hang out with you guys and chat, and that feels great. And I really like Colorado. It's beautiful, and I really hope you enjoy it. And let us know if you do.
Absolutely, yeah, feels good, man. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, and I guess we'll be switching over shortly to our next guest, who is Patrick, the ATS map lead. He's here waiting in the studio already, Nimiro?
Yes, he's coming. He's coming. So we will just like switch again, like we did before Annie appeared, for like 5 to 10 minutes at maximum, and then we will be back from studio with Patrick next to me.
Sounds good. So do not go anywhere, folks. More great content on the way, and of course, towards the end of the stream, we'll have the big release of Colorado. So
yes,
we will see you again in just a few moments. Do not go anywhere. Annie, thank you again. We'll see you again soon. We'll catch you later. And until then, we'll see you later. See you in a few moments, folks. Hey everyone, and welcome back.
Hello,
It's
hello.
good to see you all again. I hope you're all doing well. You're joining us for what is essentially kind of like our third part of the stream, I guess. If you're just
This
joining us, welcome.
time
You're
flies,
tuned into
right,
the
man?
Colorado release live stream, and we switched guests up. We just had Annie in the studio, but now we're joined by the ATS map lead for Colorado, Patrick. Great to see you. How you doing?
Hey guys, I'm doing fine, thank you.
And I just picked
good.
double trailer. Come on, man.
And Nimuro is still our chauffeur for this evening as well. Going to be on his way around Colorado, starting here from Sterling. And Patrick, you've been with us quite a few times on the streams before, and it's always a pleasure to have you. But maybe for those who've not seen you before, maybe you could introduce yourself a little bit.
Okay guys, so basically for those who don't know me, I'm Patrick. I'm responsible for DLC Colorado at the moment. I'm working for 5 years in SCS software. Previously I worked on Euro Trucks, that was quite some time ago. And now the last 5 years I'm on ATS. And I somehow did it to be a responsible person for DLCs.
And of course, I can see that you're very, very excited. Everyone donning the Colorado design shirts there as well in the studio, looking very, very nice. And it must be a very exciting day for you. I mean, we were talking about how amazing it is that this day has rolled around so quickly, that we've come to the day of release. And how are you feeling? What are your initial thoughts right now of this release?
I changed like 10 t-shirts today because I was like sweating like crazy. Yeah, it was a lot of, I mean, always those final rounds are a bit of a pressure. It's not too bad. It's just that we are hoping that people will like it. We are making sure that everything will go smoothly, that there will be no bugs that would be like too bad, let's say. Of course, there will be maybe some hotfix like a week after the release, but we just wanted to be sure that the release will be as smooth as possible, basically. So that's where that's where the stress came from.
Always a little bit nerve-wracking, but it's also an excitement, an exciting kind of nervous at the same time. You know, you're excited but nervous at the same time. But it must be, as always, a pleasure to kind of see how it's all come together, and how people are going to react as well is always a very exciting part of the process as well, to receive feedback and see how people are reacting to the DLC. And we've already seen some of that with some of the early release videos from some of our streamers and such. Have you been kind of keeping an eye on the comments and such that have been coming out from these people who've had kind of early reviews of the DLC?
What? Sorry, just simplify it for me because
Sorry.
I got lost. Sorry.
That's so right. Yeah. So for the streamers and such who have been already driving in Colorado,
yeah.
Have you been keeping an eye on some of the comments that they've been making about the DLC?
Oh yeah, of course. I've been. I am actually happy that most of them are positive. That really makes me happy. We've been excited to read some comments actually from people living in Colorado that they somehow recognize those places, which is what we've been looking for and what we try to achieve. So if that went well, then we have a great day, basically.
Of course, yeah, that's like kind of the ultimate goal, for people to actually kind of have a kind of sense of location of where they are within Colorado. And well, speaking of it, let's take it back a little, because we mentioned it earlier, but you're one of the very lucky members of a few people who actually went to Colorado on a special research trip, correct?
Yeah, that's true. It's been 14 months ago, and 4 of us we went.
We have actually a few pictures to show, Alex, right?
Yeah, we do. We actually do.
Can I switch to it?
You can drive a little bit, and then you can stop on the truck stop on the right side. So feel free to drive.
Just tell me.
Few more meters, and we will later switch on that. But yeah, for quite some time we've been asking Pavel to send us to America, because I think even players could recognize that we are basically a European studio. We have European mentality. We don't really know how American road network really works, or we had. On the beginning, we had no idea. We are getting better and better, but I think the best especially for map designers, is to get in touch with the road system behind the wheel, so that the interactions are you know, they have like everything from the first person. It's the best.
And
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, it plays a really important role in obviously how the final product comes to look, because you really get more of a sense of a feel of the areas that you're working with because you've seen it.
Yes. Basically, what we realized immediately when we came to America, that everything is very simple and actually pretty strict. As they have, you know, the advantage of United States is that they don't have to use symbols as we do in Europe. They can just basically write everything because English is used everywhere. This would never work in Europe. I mean, every state is a different language, so you have to stick with the symbols, and they are not quite easy to understand for some people, I can imagine. So in this way, America has it much easier. So that's what we realized immediately when we came there. Everything was like, beware, there is a curve or something. You know, sometimes they have really like long signs or long writings on them. But everything is clear, everything is like easy to understand, because for a long time I was actually wondering how is it possible that they can give a driving license to 16 years old people, yeah? But, but now I understand, because it's very simple in America to drive a car. I mean, the transmission is mostly automatic, they don't have to deal with that, which is a great advantage. The sign system and everything, it's so natural that I would give it even to 14 years old people sometimes.
Well,
like,
I think in actually some states, I think that even might be a legal age in like a couple of states, actually 14 or 15 years old, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, like you said, it was very young. And these are some of the photos now we've got up screen of actually from your trip there with the famous sign, "Welcome to colorful Colorado." And was this right at the beginning of your trip, or was this kind of like halfway through?
No. It was kind of in the middle of everything. We arrived to Denver. So first pictures would be somewhere around from somewhere around Denver, and this is four of us in front of the sign. I don't think it's chronological because we had two cameras, so I think the order is not right. But I can still comment. It's
okay. I would
just
problem.
I would just browse it.
So who did you have with you here in front of the sign? If we can go back to that picture.
So
you know what, man? Feel free to browse it.
okay.
I wasn't there.
You guys taking a break.
Okay, I'm gonna.
I wasn't there.
you.
I don't know.
Cool. I'm gonna introduce you to people that were there. From the left side, there is Nikolai. Some people in the community might know him. He is a great, talented map designer that came to SCS Software from a modding community. He has a lot of experience. I think he is only like 20, so a very young person, but very talented. For Colorado DLC, he did whole Denver just himself, nobody else.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a record in SCS, or especially on American trucks, because city in size of Denver is never easy to make in one person, and he did it, so that's quite a good performance. The person staying next to him is Oppekar, and this guy is very cool because he is talented to make landscapes and nature, and as Colorado is mostly about nature, or the nature is very dominant in Colorado state, as it is diverse, you know. The nature of Colorado is, I think people say that it's most beautiful nature in United States, which, according what we saw, might be true. And this person did $1 Million Highway, Glenwood Canyon, a big part of Interstate 70, Eisenhower Tunnel, a lot of great scenery. This US 40 from Interstate 70 to Steamboat Springs, very nice scenery in the results. So again, a very big talent. The person here is Tomáš Dubský, who is talented to make cities, basically all urbanistic sceneries, settlements, cities, prototypes for new economy. Let's say, you know, we have those prefab depots, and he is talented to make the surrounding of them so that it really looks natural, and it's just not, you know, one prefab being placed in the middle of woods or I don't know what. So it was really worth to have him as well. And the right person here on the right, it's obviously me. And for Colorado, I did some prototypes for wind power plants, which we will come later to. I picked from I picked from a few pictures from the trip to show, because those ones we actually have in the game. This is part of $1 Million Highway, and we have this avalanche tunnel, or I don't know how to call it. I think it was meant to keep the landslides away from the road, so it somehow protects the highway. And we have the scenery in the game. Maybe later when we will drive around, I can notice you. This is something that is, or at least from my point of view, it was typical for America, because when we drove there, it was like 400 kilometers straight and still straight. And there were like 2 or 3 curves, and you remembered all of them because there were no more. So this is very typical for America. And yet they have 65 miles per hour speed limit, which was, we already been to this topic, and I'm not gonna return to that, but I still think it's just way too low. It was very hard to keep us on.
How much is like 65 miles
65
per
is
hour?
around
Like
90 or something.
No, it's not.
90 on this.
It's not 90. It's not nearly double, or not?
No, it's not double.
Alex, don't you know how many kilometers per hour it is?
1.6, so I can calculate it if you give me a second.
I was gonna say you're gonna make me get the iPhone out and check it.
Okay,
online.
I have it. It's okay, so it's 104.
100. Okay.
104.
But yeah, okay, then I agree that it's way too slow for
Yeah,
what, like
because
a 400 kilometer straight road.
Yeah, there is no obstacle, nothing that would obstruct the view. So
I mean, like the problem is probably that there is no like safeguard like in the middle.
yeah.
You know,
Maybe, yeah. I was going to say America needs like an autobahn, but I don't know if they're ever going to do anything like that. But this is, looking at this picture, this is almost like a very typical scene. When I look at this just screams America to me. You know, those very long roads, the Great Plains kind of in the background. But if you were to show me this picture without context, I wouldn't even think this is from Colorado. I mean, this looks like from one of the desert states and such, and it just goes to show how varied it is, right? Or is this from Colorado?
This is from Colorado, actually, but it's very close to Four Corners, so it's like very close to New Mexico, where the country looks like this. It's again that the Colorado is a very diverse state, and it also has this type of scenery, and we were lucky to actually take a trip exactly to Colorado, because it could show us all those types of country we catch the feeling from. So yeah, the next picture, I think this is from the very same day. It's US 160. Again, we have this scenery in the game, so you can find it exactly almost 1-to-1 as it is here on this picture. We also have this tunnel, like everything that we remembered from the road, we did to the game, because we expected the players to have the very same feelings, you know. So every trucker, they just drive the roads, they have like lots of them, and they only remember like the very significant places or some landmarks or something that, like, you know, somehow takes or something that makes its way to your memory. So
why do they have the sign saying just tunnel in front of it? Like
they have to notice you. I mean,
isn't it obvious that bit?
I think we do have the same sign. Like there is a symbol of tunnel.
Yeah, but usually we have it like the name of a tunnel and how long it is. But this is say just, hey, it's tunnel. I don't know. Maybe it's like reflexive, so maybe the tunnel in the night like kind of disappear. You might like miss it, so the sign warns you in front of it before. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe maybe you can be shocked if you are driving in the night that suddenly there are some lights above you, or I don't know. So I think it's always better to warn you before you reach anything that is different to regular part of the road. This is a very interesting landmarks located close to Colorado
Tell
Springs.
me honestly, did you try to push it?
Of course I did. Of course we did. We have tons of pictures from this place where we were all like holding the rock or trying to push it or something. But of course it stays as it is. But this is again something that you might or might not find in the DLC. It's one of the hidden parts. So you have to explore it yourself, and maybe you will find this place. This is for comparison, because we are used to
quite
see
big.
a lot smaller signs on European roads, and when we came to US, it was like, oh my God, those signs are that huge? Are they really that huge? So we, as an evidence, we took few pictures for comparison how big the signs actually are, because even in the game sometimes it looks way smaller than it actually is. It's like, you know, all the perspective and different angles you are looking at it from. So this is an evidence how huge actually the signs are. It gave us a lot. Then we stopped on a truck stop in Denver, and we found some very nice people, some very nice truckers that explain us this is one of the oversized trailer owner. So this would be actually interesting for Nemiro. You see,
It's
the
so
oversized.
low. It's so like. Sorry guys, you probably don't see.
Yeah,
but I'm
I
just
will.
like
I will try to use the
it's-
mouse. Yeah,
it's
this is
so
very low
close
actually.
to the ground. Like there was such a small gap. Isn't it like getting higher when the driver is like, you know, setting on the road, or do you think like it's this like close to the ground all the time?
I'm not so sure. No, yeah, it does look quite a very low trailer. But I imagine it does
Wow.
get raised up. I imagine it would maybe.
I think maybe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
We definitely wrote some notes. So
Okay.
I don't remember it because it was like a lot of information at once. So maybe I can find it somewhere in the notes. What the
Yeah,
guy
people in
told.
the chat are saying that it looks like it's hydraulic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah,
it's
it
getting
raises
raised,
up.
right? Okay.
Okay, this is a very interesting intersection in Denver that we also have in the game. The interesting part for us, at least, was this sign that this actually overrides the traffic light itself. Technically, you can find basically the traffic lights are going in their own cycle, and this only appears when the train is incoming. So you can technically find yourself in a situation where this traffic light is green, but this one tells you not to turn left because there is a train. And
Gotcha.
so this was something that we had to deal also with programmers to implement this to the game. But
I was going to say, because there's not loads of, you know, very much so around all the railroad crossings. It's usually, as you can see here on the left, just the normal physical signs more so than digital signage. But I wonder if that's something
Yeah.
that's becoming more frequent across America.
Yeah, we have similar situation in Santa Fe in New Mexico, where the train goes directly through the crossroads. It goes like in the 45 angle through the whole crossroad. It's also very interesting, but they have a different system to tell you when to stop or if there is a train or not. Basically, they have the gates of the train intersection before regular traffic lights, so they can tell you like in advance. Yeah, this is Nikolai standing next to the car we rented. This is part of US 40, also a similar scenery that we have in the game. Eisenhower Tunnel located on Interstate 70. You might remember this from.
We just drove it. We just drove through it.
Yeah,
Like a few moments ago.
Yeah, from the stream, or from a video trailer that we released recently. Glenwood Canyon, very interesting scenery. We took
Beautiful.
like 5,000 pictures from this area.
I would.
Yeah, we also had drone, so that we could, you know, see things from this different perspective, because driving it and having the feeling is one thing. Then we also have Google Street View, the tool we take most references from. But sometimes you have to see the road from a different angle, because you have to actually create the scenery for the map, and only wonder if the player will be able to see it or not. We would have it much easier if our game would only support the interior camera, but as we also have, you know, the photo mode and some additional cameras, we also have to count with some sceneries that we have to create, but we don't really know how they look. So that's where the drone came really useful. This is Steamboat Springs, again with Tomáš Oppekar, the guy who is very talented on landscapes. He also did this city, so it's very interesting to see this exact building that we have in a game and compare it with this picture because it really looks like one-to-one. I think we already published this picture on one of our
On
blog
blog,
posts
yeah.
before.
Yes. Yeah.
Again, Glenwood Canyon, this is an interesting scenario where part of the freeway goes into tunnel. So very pretty unusual, let's say. Rocky Mountains National Park, for us something very wild as the altitude above the sea level is around 12,000 feet, which is 3.5 kilometers. So, I mean, we don't even have mountains that high in Central Europe. So for us, having a road at this level, it's quite interesting. Yeah. This is Tomáš, the landscaper taking pictures of rocks. We took a lot of references. We also have this scenery in the game, recreated almost one-to-one. This one was not created by him, but as he did a lot of screenshots, or I mean photographs, Martina, our talented landscaper, was able to recreate it almost one-to-one. So again, scenery that made it to the final release. The sign that we
This is a
have
shot
seen
from the
before.
trailer as well, from video trailer as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, correct. This is exactly the scenery that we took into trailer. Uray, a small town on the beginning of $1 Million Highway. We were amazed by the rocks because, I mean, come on, this is something that you cannot find in Europe. This is so atypical for us. Again, we took like a lot of pictures here. $1 Million Highway. We have very similar look of a $1 Million Highway on the main artwork that represents DLC Colorado. This is Chimney Rock, close to Utah Mountain, or I don't know how to pronounce this because some of the names are Indian, so I don't really know how to call it. We were even surprised that Uray pronounced Uray. Four Corners, again something that we made one-to-one to the game, and this is me with the drone. It's actually cool that it only costs like $5 to have an official license that you can fly under in the United States.
And no test?
Okay.
Only $5.
There's just payment, right? No test, no...
Yeah, of course there is a test. So
There's a
like,
test? Okay.
You need to prove that you are like a responsible person and you will not crash into anything, that you will be.
And you can do the test online, like.
Yes, it's
Okay,
all online.
cool.
That's a great.
Nice.
I mean.
Cool.
Okay.
And it helped us to get like a lot of references. We just agreed not to fly over highways or over infrastructures, so that we didn't put anybody into danger and into any danger. So everything legal and actually very cheap. I wish Europe worked the very same way. This is factory close to Pueblo. We also have some of the shots or screenshots on the blog post. Some of them made it to the trailer. Gold mine. This when we first time saw this, we were like, oh my god, we're never gonna make it at this level of detail, or because it's one thing, it's huge, and when we imagined that we will recreate all these paths or the levels from our meshes that only have like basic material textures, we were just wondering how we gonna make it. And Tomáš Oppekar, again, this guy did it very well. So great job. It looks very similar than.
Why do they watering the hills, as was in the previous picture?
Yeah,
Do you know why they still watering it?
Yes, because this is the way they get the gold from it. I don't really know how it works, but the water somehow takes the minerals or something, the important parts, and then they collect it somewhere beneath them. I don't really know how it works, but that's what
Interesting.
I read somewhere on Wikipedia or somewhere.
Interesting. Interesting.
We were also asking a research department. They helped us a lot explaining how this worked. So we of course put those particles to the
Yeah, and it's hard to judge it from the photos, but the scale of these places. I've been to coal mines in Australia, and you can never really tell the true scale until you're actually there. And these places are just incredible to look at, and like you're saying, the layers and the depth of it, they're incredibly deep and just humongous. It's even hard to tell the scale from here. And I imagine you had that same feeling when you went there to go look at it as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, this is Broncos Mile High Stadium. We have it in the game. It's visible from the freeway. It's a huge landmark of Denver. It's called Mile High City, and this is Mile High Stadium. So we thought this will be an important landmark, of course, not only for the scenery itself, but also for the fans of Broncos team. Something we took as an inspiration for oversize. This is the way they transport mobile homes.
We have that cargo.
We
A little bit different, but we have such cargo in the special transport DLC as well.
Yeah, this is one of the 1,000 pictures we took of this trailer to have all references. How is it connected? How is it attached to the trailer and stuff? So it was very useful that we've been there. Again, part of US 34 between Loveland or Fort Collins and Rocky Mountains National Park. One of the million references we took there, so that we are able to recreate the rocks. Runaway truck ramp. It's unlawful to stop on the truck ramp, but we really wanted to. We didn't make it because we were kind of worried that, what if some policeman would see us or something would happen. So we just took a lot of pictures of these ramps, and this one
Is it steep? Is it really steep?
It's really steep,
Yeah.
yes. So it has a potential to stop you. So it is. I think you can see even from this picture that it's really like against the downhill. It's very steep uphill, so that it will really slow you down, or at least slow you down, or not even stop you. And this is where the drone came very useful.
I love these shots, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it takes amazing footage. I really love it.
I feel like I'm watching a movie trailer. This is the
Yeah.
start of like some sort of documentary with David Attenborough, like "Welcome to the world."
Yeah.
This is it.
And this is exactly
There is just
the
one
angles.
planet.
Those are exactly the angles we needed to recreate $1 Million Highway, because street view or us standing or driving on the highway, we were not able to see how the rocks look like on the left side. So that's when we took a drone and flown there. Also the tops of these tunnels. I mean, the nature there is just so beautiful.
Incredible. And just to see the colors of the rocks, the shades of the trees and everything like that. Again, something that it's not easy to see from ground level, and picking it up here from the air, it's really, I imagine, an immense tool in the right hands for you guys to use when recreating Colorado. Yeah,
this came very useful for asset team, as we didn't really know how it exactly looks on the sites of wind power plants. So we saw some of them from the road. So we stopped and took a drone there so that we could have these close-ups. And asset team was able to recreate those models, and we have exactly those circles around the pillars that hold the power plant.
That is awesome, yeah, and it's really kind of cool to see, because I think we passed this scene earlier, and it's like I can envision it now. I've seen it virtually, and now I'm seeing it for real, and I can see where the inspiration and the work has come in to recreate that. And it's really, really awesome to see that you've been able to get this very, very unique footage. And again, I can only imagine when you took this back to the team at the office, it must have been a huge help for them. Wow, look at this! This is awesome. The fan blades on the trucks in.
Yeah.
That is a cool sight to see. And they were just parked up there, I guess, just waiting to unload?
Yes, exactly. And we were lucky to see them, because usually I don't know how long time it takes them to wait there and be in unload. So It was actually pretty far from the road, so we had to fly like 5 minutes. And the drone is pretty fast, honestly, and we've been there for quite some time to catch
That's fantastic.
those. Yeah, we didn't even know that they are them until we flown to the very last site. This is,
Come on.
This is Glenwood Canyon around Interstate 70.
It's making us jealous now, eh?
Yeah, I want to travel, man. I want to travel.
Yeah. Wow. Glenwood Canyon, stunning.
Yeah, we've been parked somewhere on the rest area next to it, and I was just immediately always checking the GPS if I'm not flying over infrastructure or if I cannot damage anybody's head.
That is cool. Was it quite warm out there as well? Was the air cooler? Because obviously Colorado being, like you mentioned, a state that's higher up sea level, was it still quite warm, the temperature when you were there?
Yeah, the temperatures, depending on where we've been, like down on the south, on the borders with New Mexico, it was very warm. Here in mountains, it went pretty down.
I love
That's
that,
cool.
the winding roads.
Yeah,
That's
and we
cool.
have
That's end of the $1 Million Highway.
Yes, this is
I
the
dro- I
Million
dro-
Highway. The end
I
of
drove around it when I was recording
Awesome.
the gameplay video around
Yes.
this. We have this as
Yes,
well.
we have-
Sorry. Again, I'm like pointing on the display, but the community cannot see my finger. But
Yeah, we have exactly this.
look at this,
parking.
guys. Look at this. Like,
Yeah, this is the parking we have recreated for the game. We also have very similar shapes to what you see here.
Yeah.
We also have this model. It's almost, or this is like one-to-one a recreation of the scenery. Glenwood Canyon again, that we already seen, and
that's so cool. And these like the houses there are like some kind of like
I have no
shops
idea
or
what they do.
coffees
What
or
they are
like
doing
people are
there.
living there actually.
I have no idea. Some of the houses looked really old and abandoned. So I was actually wondering myself, like, what are they doing there?
I mean, if that house is abandoned, I want to live there. Like,
I'm not really sure if you want to live there because the way to the very next shop would take you like 2 hours.
okay.
Wow.
I
Maybe that's
don't-
why they
okay.
left the houses.
Yeah.
then you have to know how to hunt, I guess.
Yeah. We
That
also
is
stopped.
awesome.
I mean, this one looks like from National Geographic. I'm very proud.
Right? It's right out of a movie or a documentary. That is amazing shots, man.
Yeah.
I bet you're very proud of them.
Yes, yes. I'm very happy that we had the opportunity to take those shots. This is Ute Mountain
This is
Chimney
so
Rock, the one
cool,
that
man.
made it to the trailer.
Fantastic. And it's really cool to see this kind of behind the scenes kind of process and seeing where your inspiration and work kind of
This is so cool,
to
man.
put the
I
final
like-
product for Colorado, and it's quite evident to see that a lot of it was based off of this trip that you had, which I imagine was incredibly rewarding for you to then to bring back all that knowledge and information for your entire team. And
Yeah.
it shows. It definitely shows in this DLC. You know, the work. We were talking about it earlier. Me and Immo about you can even see from the rocks. You know, the details that have just gone into that alone. Let alone the rest of the state. You know, just absolutely fantastic, outstanding work.
Yeah, the whole team took advantage that we went there and brought those shots back
I mean,
home.
these shots want me to, like makes me to want like travel and buy a drone immediately.
The dream job.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Okay, so that would be it. Then I have only for a few screenshots. This is exactly what we did for the game. I remember myself because this is what I did actually. Immediately after we returned from Colorado, I was so excited that I immediately started working on this because it was like I have never seen a site like this. It looks pretty simple, but it isn't. It's very sophisticated. So again, some screenshots I've been already showing. Our team controlling the drone. So one of us was always checking the controller, and the second or third person always had eye contact with the drone so that it was legal and stuff. Because you also have
It's
to.
it's actually mandatory, right? That you always have to
Yes.
be watching the drone.
Yeah,
Have a field of view of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
you cannot lose eye contact from the drone, or it should not be that far so that you cannot really see where it is. so some altitude restrictions and stuff. So we were following
Okay,
that.
cool.
So
That is
those
awesome.
were some pictures from the trip.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. It was really awesome to see. I haven't seen quite a few of those ones myself. And I was just thinking to myself as well, obviously this is incredibly beneficial to you and your team for Colorado. But we saw a picture when you were at the truck stop earlier. And from there, you also learned quite a few things about truck stops as well, didn't you? I remember you mentioning that was, obviously you didn't just learn about the state, but you also learned more about the environment that truckers work in and the places where they stop. And that has actually, inspired some of the updates that have come recently to truck stops and such, right?
Yeah, that's right. We always imagine truck stops being a very quiet place, like everybody just turn off the engine and there is like quiet and silence because everybody's sleeping and stuff. But when we came there and we heard all the noise from the air conditions and stuff running still, some trucks were even running the engines. I told myself I would never want to be a trucker in the United States because they really do have a hard job.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they're always on the move and getting the rest that they can when they need to, but when it's time to go again, they're on the road just again. But it's fantastic that you're able to even meet some of the truckers that are on the road. I imagine that was some very valuable information to you as well. Lots of people in the chat getting excited as well, though, because they've noticed that, yes, there is less than an hour to go till the release of Colorado on Steam. It drops at 7 p.m. Central European time, so just about 50 minutes to go now until it's released, which is all very, very exciting. And we're looking forward to, of course, pushing the big button. And I imagine for you, Patrick, and for the team as well, a very exciting moment.
Yes, that's right. That's right. We are all very exciting. Some of us pretty nervous, to be honest, but still, I think the excitement is more than the nervosity.
That's great.
I can like sense that Patrick is still watching through where I'm driving and trying to find any like, is that the back or no? Is that okay? It's like, okay. Is this like how it should be, right? You're still like watching if you guys did a good job here.
I have actually spent a lot of time doing exactly this, driving and still watching if there are any bugs. Also, we have a huge QA department that did amazing job finding all bugs. Some of them we would never actually find them without QA. So there is so many people involved in creation of one DLC. It all looks like there is like, because the core map team had like 10 people, but if you count everybody like asset team, programmers that supported us, testers, research department, and everybody, it's just so many people involved.
Okay, it's always connected through the whole company, right?
Yes. It's actually pity that we cannot bring more guests into live stream, because we have some very amazing people. Usually those creative people are introverts, so it's not very easy to make them come here and talk about how we did that, what we experienced in Colorado when we've been there, or how exactly we did those rocks or some sceneries or whatever else. So it's actually a bit of a pity that we cannot show to the community how amazing some people are.
And I imagine, obviously, I think I could say this probably with confidence, you and the team that went out to Colorado are probably people that are best familiar with Colorado, that know it the most and the best. And would you say you've kind of developed, I know you don't like to pick favorites, but kind of like a soft spot for a certain area?
Okay, I think everybody liked what they did. Like once you start doing some part of a scenery, you immediately fall in love with that. And if you don't, then we work on something else, because I think the success of our teams or our team in general would be that we gave right tasks to the right people. That's very critical. As I was introducing those people on the beginning, Nikolai is very talented with cities. It wouldn't make sense to give him some very diverse landscape or something when we have Vopi, who is very great, who is very good on landscapes. So everybody loved what they did, and if they didn't, we changed those tasks so that they can give heart to their work, because it's in the end it's revisible when people put their heart into their work.
Definitely.
100%. It really shows, especially in a DLC like this. You know, they want to pay more attention to detail and put a lot more passionate work into it, and we can see it on every DLC that comes out, that, you know, the bar is always raised, and it's really good to see that, you know, you've worked on a few DLCs now for American Truck Simulator, of course, with your experience within the company. You must be getting to a point now where you're really being able to kind of streamline things and know where things should be going and what you should be doing. I know you mentioned earlier that you still feel kind of strange that you're in this position, but it seems like you kind of know what you're doing now, and you've kind of really got that process down for, you know, from start to finish.
Yeah, basically 4 of us who went to Colorado, we immediately fell in love with Colorado State, and I remember our emotions were like, we were sorry that our scale is just so small that we cannot put more scenery into Colorado. So
I'm not sure if
that would be it about relationships with Colorado and our team.
And it's unfortunate, of course, with the timing of everything that's happening right now, that maybe you wouldn't be able to currently travel to some other places that maybe you would like to travel to for research. But I hope that in the future we can kind of see more of this type of research. I imagine it's well, looking at Colorado DLC now, it's a very good almost like positive thing to kind of show off and say, hey, because we did this, we're able to create this, and this really benefited us and the team to create these. So hopefully this is something that could become more regular in the future, obviously pending everything that's happening around the world right now, right?
Yes, this really motivates people working on the project, and what community can do for us is, if they recognize any place that we did one-to-one because we've been there, they can write it to the comments or something, somehow let us know that this part or this way of research was really worth it.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's not the only thing they can do as well. Of course, the forums are very active with people who are always contributing to the research of various different subjects. If you do want to go check that out, forums.scsoft.com. You can help out the SCS team on different research topics, which you can find in the various sub-forums for American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2. I know the community do play a big role for people that live in those states, that are able to contribute different details and photos and ideas for things. And I know that when we have, for example, Raven come on, he really loves to talk about how much the community help out in these sort of projects. And I imagine it was the same for Colorado as well, with the team, obviously the research team working always very, very hard to bring a lot of these subjects and topics that you need to find out about for you guys to then create in game. I imagine it's quite an important process and part of the communication as well for you to have during the development of a map like Colorado. All right, so moving into the evening as well now, and someone was asking in the chat, when you went to Colorado, what month was it that you visited? Was it in the height of summer?
It was end of the August, between
end of August,
August and September, the split of August and September.
And was there a reason for it being that time, or was it just because that's the time that it managed to happen?
It was a good timing with us moving from Washington to a next project, and it was perfect timing actually because we already knew something about Colorado because we did some research before, and now it was time to go there and to experience it ourselves, so that we can gain more information and gain a little perspective how the things that we learn on the regular research will look compared to the regular research and the reality, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And a couple of people in the chat were asking, was there anything that you found particularly challenging about Colorado? Was there anything that you found quite difficult to recreate or put to scale?
Elevation, because Colorado is, as it is, half of it's plains, and half of Colorado are mountains, and as the scale is very limited, and we wanted to put so many landmarks and sceneries from the reality to the game, it was hard to make some reasonable elevation changes between those sceneries. So, but I think that's actually the most that we learn from the trip, because when we studied Colorado before, you never see let's say how would I call it, the slopes. You don't see how steep they are from street view, but when you are driving there and the car is forcing you to accelerate, or you really have to hit the brake to manage the driving, then you somehow realize how huge the mountain actually is. And this went great around Interstate 70 from Eisenhower Tunnel down to Glenwood Canyon.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was something that surprised me the most about when I've been driving in Colorado, especially this past week as well, where I've been having a bit more time to do so in American Truck Simulator. But yeah, just like you said, the elevation changes is it's really surprising me how varied the state is in terms of its landscape and also the way it changes in elevation. Like you said, it really has kind of almost like everything in that state. It seems like you've got forest, you've got mountains, the Rocky Mountains being such a famous mountain range in the United States and such. It really, and then you've got obviously like the ski resorts, and then all the way down to the Great Plains, like you're saying. It's really amazing to see how varied this state is, and even I've come to learn to kind of love it. Doing the research for the blogs and all the different topics you've been dishing out as well for us in the marketing department. It's really been fun to learn about Colorado, and it's actually quite surprising how much there is in this state, and I think we're going to be surprised by that for a lot of states in the future as well.
Yeah, there is always something that surprises us. When I remember when we started studying Washington State, and we told ourselves on the beginning, okay, it's very similar to Oregon, it's just more northern, so probably more woods, but it was so different compared to Oregon. It was so diverse again. Even Washington has these coast areas, woods, mountains, and flatlands on the east. Down when you drive to Oregon, there is even something that really reminds desert, or it's not a desert, it's something like the bushes and how to call it. I'm not very good at this, so excuse me. Excuse me that I cannot call it the right name.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's been quite some time since I've been to school and we learned that. So there is always something that surprises us when we are researching the state, and then when we are creating it.
And also someone asking as well in the chat, did you have any funny moments as well while you're on your trip to Colorado?
Funny moments, what could that be?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, we actually did. There were a few situations. Not only me, not only I was being stopped by a policeman. It also happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it also happened to my colleague. It was the first time when we've been stopped by a policeman, and he was like, "Okay, so you are all Europeans, no Americans. Oh, I'm not gonna fill those papers. It's way too complicated with foreigners. So, I will just let you go, but next time, just slow down." The funniest moment was when my colleague was driving, and we saw the police car behind us, and we told him, "Hey man, do you actually know what was the speed limit there?" And he was like, "No." And that was the first question that the policeman asked us. "Hey, do you guys know what was the speed limit there?" And we were like, I don't know, let's say 65 or 55 or something that is very common on the regular road. and we were wrong. So he corrected us. He told us, okay, you're supposed to drive 45 here, especially on these curves because they are dangerous. So slow down and stay safe. This time it will be without penalty, but I'm gonna watch you downhill. And he really followed us for some.
Really?
Yeah, he really followed us for some
Wow.
while, and I can really imagine that he would stop us again if we
Exceed the speed.
do some speeding again.
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit harder because of course it is a very foreign place to you, somewhere you've not been before, and it can be hard to sometimes recognize the signs if you miss them, or if you're trying to concentrate on a part of the scenery that, like, yeah, let's get a picture of this, and then you miss something, that speed limit change or something. I can imagine it could be quite difficult when you're out there. But
Yeah.
I mean, luckily, from what I remember being out in America, the roads are quite wide and, like you're saying, oftentimes straight, so it can be easy driving at times. But I imagine when you're up in those kind of mountainous areas, very bendy roads, as we saw on the
Come on,
$1 million
man. Come on,
highway.
man. There's a train. Left or right? Left or right?
Right.
Left.
Right?
I
Okay.
see left.
Let's see who's gonna win. I don't know what, but
right.
it's right.
Yes,
Right.
get in. Always the right way. Yeah, the freight trains. So an icon of America for sure. When you're driving in America, you see them, and some are very fast like that. Luckily, others are very slow sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like you're waiting forever at
Okay,
a crossing.
we have like 7 minutes until we
Yes.
will connect with Pavel. He probably is waiting
Okay.
for us. So Alex, feel free to drop a key.
Yep, let's do that.
Leave out.
I was just about to do that.
Okay, perfect.
We still have a couple of them to give away, so we shall give away 2 more keys. And Patrick, since you're our guest today, do you want to pick a keyword? So basically the way it works is that the chat has to type this keyword that you choose into the chat to be entered into the giveaway to win a Colorado DLC. Do you want to choose the keyword?
Speeding.
Speed. Speeding?
Yeah.
I'll make it so. So the keyword is speeding. If you'd like to enter to win a copy of the Colorado DLC for American Truck Simulator, releasing in just over 30 minutes time, which is, wow, time's flown. Then enter by typing the word speeding into the chat. This giveaway is only valid at twitch.tv/SCS software. So very, very sorry to our wonderful Steam users who are watching. We appreciate you, but unfortunately the giveaway bot does not work in that channel. Steam doesn't allow it. I can see loads of you in there though. Over 5,000 of you now watching on the
Whoa.
Wow,
Steam
that's nice.
stream. And another 1,000 plus of you in the Twitch stream as well. So great to have you all along. Lots of you watching from all over the world. Thank you for joining us. And of course, very exciting day to be releasing Colorado. And it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us again, Patrick. You have such amazing knowledge and insight into these things. And I love that we've been able to just kind of have almost like a story time and listen to kind of like your story about heading out to Colorado and the process of it. So thank you again. But yeah, if you would like to enter, speeding is your keyword. We've got 2 keys to give away for Colorado, so make sure that you do get them in.
Yeah,
Ooh,
but
for some reason,
guys, please don't take this as a command, because you should really drive responsibly and don't be stupid as we've been. I mean, especially for the community or for anybody watching, because we don't want to say, of course, that speeding or any breaking of rules is okay. We also paid some penalties, so we've learned that. And if we came. If we will ever go to America again, we will definitely drive more responsibly. It was the thing was actually that we've been trying to see so many things. When we came to Colorado, the plan was like to drive around 1,000 miles, which was already pretty ambitious. But when we came there, we told ourselves, "Oh my God, America is so beautiful. Colorado, especially, it just makes." It's wonderful. We were so amazed that we some of our trips took like 14 hours. We barely slept. We were just trying to still to be on the road as much as possible. So that's where the speeding came a little bit. But after we've been stopped, of course, then we then we try to be more responsible.
There you go. So make sure you're always adhering to the local laws
Yeah.
of your local area. Mistakes happen, but that's all right, as long as you're not doing it purposely. Okay, we'll give you 1 more minute, folks. 1 more minute to enter, and then we need to wrap things up and give these giveaways their keys. And then we will be joined by our CEO, Pavel Shabor, who will be joining us for a little chat, as well as, of course, the main release of the Colorado DLC. As you can see here, Nimiro driving through the much more kind of flat area of it now.
Yeah.
I think we are in
It's
the
amazing
middle
how
of
it
the
changes like that.
Great Plains of Colorado. Am I right?
Mm.
Yes.
It's so cool, man.
And also, if you haven't checked out already, folks, head over to watertrucks.com or blog.scsoft.com, our official blog, where you can find out information on hashtag Cruising Colorado, the Water Trucks event that will be starting at the release of Colorado in just around 30 minutes time, where you can be rewarded for completing your personal and community goals for cruising around Colorado, checking out the different industries, doing jobs through external contracts, and all the details you need to know, again, over at watertrucks.com or blog.scsoft.com when the event goes live. And yeah, some very, very cool rewards to earn, and that will last for a little while. So there's no rush in completing those. Take your time, check out all of Colorado. As you can see, a lot of love and work has gone into this DLC from everyone involved. So definitely do make sure to not speed, but slow down, I would say, and take your time to really look at the beautiful details that have been included. That's for sure.
Doesn't it look
Okay.
endless?
It does. Like I'm enjoying it like a lot.
All right.
Can I be just like driver on all the streams from now on? Just like not chatting. Like I'll be a chauffeur, guys.
I need somebody to chat with them.
Yeah, I know, man.
Okay, we're going to roll our giveaway winners now. So 10 more seconds I'll give you. If you haven't entered already, speeding is the keyword in the Twitch chat to enter to win one of 2 of the Colorado DLCs that we've made. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's roll our first winner. Drum roll. Congratulations to Sean ZZ Check. Basically, Sean Check. Congratulations, my friend, Sean. Well done. He's a good friend of the stream. Congratulations, you've won yourself the Colorado DLC. Congratulations. Please send me a whisper. And our second winner is... Whoa. Oh my goodness, this is a name to pronounce. Wojtek Kiro CA01. Hello, congratulations. That's WOJTEKKIEROWCA01. Yeah, it's quite a long name. I'm sorry that I butchered your name, but congratulations, you've also won yourself a Colorado DLC. Please make sure to check your whispers on Twitch. I'll be contacting you very, very shortly. But unfortunately, that is all we have time for with you, Patrick.
Patrick will be here as well after we will come back.
Oh wait, so you're gonna be staying
all
with
of us,
right?
just Pavel will join us. Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's fine then. So yeah, I guess we're gonna connect up with Pavel Shabor via video call. So we will take some time to do that. But Patrick, thank you so much for your insights and for sharing more with us about the details of Colorado, sharing with your wonderful pictures and drone footage as well, which hopefully you're not going to be headhunted by National Geographic now for your filming skills. But we'll see what happens in the future. It's beautiful. But yeah, thank you again for being with us. And but we'll be with you still for a little while yet. But thank you for sharing those stories anyway.
Thanks, guys, for having me here today.
Yeah, no worries. And I guess we'll see you again in just a few moments' time, where we'll be with Pavel Shabor. So do not go anywhere. We'll see you in just a few moments. For now, we'll see you.
See ya.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Great to see you all again. And this time we're back, but with a couple of another special guest with us. Of course, we have Pavel Shabor, our CEO, with us, who's joining us live via video call. It's great to have you with us, Pavel.
Hello, everybody. Great to be here.
And well, we're coming up to a very exciting time of the stream because we're only about 20 minutes away now from the release of the Colorado DLC. Of course, we're also joined still by Patrick, the ATS map lead, and Nimiro as well, who's kind of our chauffeur / driver through Colorado this evening. And it's been a very, very exciting stream so far. But Pavel, it's great to have you with us, and thank you for joining us this evening.
It's absolutely a pleasure. It's a great time to be able to launch the DLC at last. At the same time, for the team at SCS, it's a very complicated time. Obviously, everybody sees that I'm at home, not in the office. Just as most of the company, only a very small crew of people is still coming to the office. We have been basically working from home for the past 2 months. We started earlier than what the government mandated or suggested for the companies to do, because there's quite a like harsh kind of regime now in the country for people to limit social connectivity between them. So it's a complicated time, but still the team managed to pull this off and get the DLC ready for release. And it's great. We are not doing our usual release party this year. Unfortunately, this autumn, we have to postpone it to some point later. But we are doing everything we can to entertain the players and to give them the content that they have been waiting for and asking for.
Well, the chat is definitely excited, that's for sure. And of course, I've seen a lot of people getting very excited over our social media and our forums and our whole community, in fact. And it's really a fun time for everyone to come to this point for our team and the community as well. And I'm not sure, have you had much of a chance to drive through Colorado for yourself and kind of check out some of the work that's been done?
I've only done a few drives. I usually wait until the very last moment because I only want to comment on the finished things. And honestly, the team has been putting finishing touches and optimizations on the project until the very last days, basically. Patrick has been working like crazy, adding extra days on this, so it's quite polished. It's great to see that. I really love the kind of the northern hill mountainous side. That's incredible. So I'm looking forward to seeing more now that it's actually out there and seeing people play it. I love, going over to social media and see people play, see people post screenshots. So I'm enjoying the game through the eyes of others very frequently. That's for me my way of enjoyment. I don't need to play games myself. I watch my kids or I watch our fans play the game these days.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously becoming more of a regular thing with mediums like Twitch, as we're live on right now, and on Steam as well, where you can see all sorts of from all different backgrounds play and enjoy the game. I think personally for myself, the most satisfying thing is actually seeing people from that home state. So in this example, of course, Colorado, actually driving the truck through the state and recognizing places. And we've mentioned it throughout the stream, but it seems like Colorado again has stepped up the bar, and the teams that have been involved and all the individuals and such that have been involved in this expansion have really brought a lot of experience together to really just kind of up the ante on this release and really bring in some really cool new neat details and all sorts. And of course, we're talking with Patrick about the research trip as well, which has benefited massively. And that wasn't so much like that in the past. Obviously we're a bigger team now, and things have changed since the earlier days of American Truck Simulator. And of course, I imagine you can recall that
drastically. Things have changed a lot. When American Truck Simulator was conceived and started, it was basically just us realizing that we owe it to the players. We started, with Euro Truck Simulator and then Euro Truck Simulator 2. But a ton of people were asking us, can you guys come back to your roots actually? Can you do another Northern American simulation? And initially the team was, I think, 5 or 6 people, including vehicle design, including production guys. So really the map design was just one person's full job. It was not up to 20 people like today on a DLC. So it was incredibly daring project to start, and we actually didn't know what we were getting into. Some of the decisions were even later changed, like the scale of the map was adjusted after we found out that we really are, sitting on this tiger and have to just, hold on to it and run along with it. So right now the team, actually there is not just one DLC team, there are multiple teams that work in parallel. All the infrastructure we had to put in place, all the talent we had to hire, and we keep hiring even through these difficult months of this year. We've been able to grow, and it's really, for me, it's really incredible to see the leaders to manage at these difficult times to teach new people the tricks and then the trade, to reassemble teams, to open new projects and keep them going. So it's been really an incredible ride, and it's only just a few years. It's still, I would say, the start rather than the end of our work on the truck sim projects. So I'm really excited about seeing where we are, what we are growing into, what we are managing to do.
Absolutely, and it is very, very evident at this point to see how far we have progressed, even from the start of American Truck Simulator, which doesn't feel too long ago, but in reality is a little while now actually, and time is flying away from us. We had somebody in the chat, Amazing ATS, and they were right to point out, of course, recently we released the blog post about the Hard Trucks tribute paint job that we're able to release. And if we're going to go back to roots, I mean, that's definitely one place to go, right back to 2002, where you had Hard Trucks 18 Wheels of Steel. And the whole reason behind that blog post and for that tribute as well was because it's almost timed perfectly that was also one of the starting points was in Denver, Colorado in that game, correct?
Yeah, right. Well, actually, Patrick, your previous guest, noticed this fact, and he must have been a very young kid at that point in time. But it's still fun to remember that the original Hard Rock and 18 Wheels of Steel game had this very cool screenshot and had the connection to Colorado. So we took the opportunity to kind of pay the tributes to the work of our tiny team back then. Back then, the game was built, I think, by 6 or 7 people total in under a year of development time. So, and we started with nothing, with an engine that was empty, just no support for laying roads, no support for vehicle physics, no AI for the vehicles. So somehow I have no idea anymore how we managed. And this kind of spirit of the small daring team was with us for many, many years after that. Now, obviously, when we are close to 200 people, we had to change. We had to bring like system and process into it. But still, the spirit and the kind of passion is there from the team as we build these huge games now with so much new features and content coming up. And of course, it's great to see one DLC appearing like today, but it's great to see it from a larger distance, to see the stream of, internal projects happening, content, new cool features in the pipeline. Again, exciting times.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And as we progress through the States, a lot of people, of course, asking questions about the future. And of course, there's going to be a lot of challenges along the way. When it comes to some of the more built up states and stuff like that as well. So I imagine it can be kind of almost quite a daring feat to look at, because we've already achieved so much, but there's still a lot of harder times along the way to learn more about how we can better yet create the states that are going to be a bit more difficult to create.
Yeah, well, American Truck Simulator, as well its older brother Euro Truck Simulator 2, are really super ambitious game projects when it comes to scale of their worlds. There are not many as ambitious projects, really, and we are fortunate that the fans are at the same time patient enough to wait for the content to trickle their way, as well as understanding that this is basically the only way it can happen. Because if we were to somehow hire hundreds and thousands of map designers and artists and developers, imagine if one state like now it takes up to maybe 40 people, 50 people to create when it comes map designers, artists, testing, support. It's over 55, it may be over 60 even. And you had to do 10, 20 states in parallel. We just cannot scale that way. We are not Ubisoft, we are not EA. we are just this small team that's still learning the ropes, learning how to grow, and growing quite at an incredible pace for us. So we are trying hard to give people more. Back in the day, 2-3 years ago, we were really struggling to develop one DLC per year. Now people see that we've managed to up the capacity, the bandwidth, and we usually manage to do 2. But of course, we want to be even more ambitious. We want to grow into even like larger pipeline, and hopefully this is going to be visible over the next few years, that there'll be not just content and more of it, but that we are also growing for cool new features to introduce into our games that will make the gameplay even more fun.
Look forward to it, and I imagine the community does as well. And speaking of the community, a lot of them have been here for a long time, supporting the games early on from the start, and I imagine this is quite an exciting moment for them as well, as we kind of start to make our way from west to east as well. And like you said, the progress is a little bit slow and steady, but it is exciting to see the progress that we're making within these games. And Colorado is another great example of that, and I think it's really fantastic to kind of see a lot of the details that have been included in this DLC, and how it's been shaped from all of the research and such that has come to play from the trips, and also the research team. Like you said, the teams have grown immensely since that time.
Yeah, well, hopefully this year is weird. This year we didn't manage to do another research trip to the US as we hoped to. And we even had trouble traveling over Europe. We had a small team in Spain recording sounds mostly. But even the Iberia team couldn't do like research in person and had to rely on the internet. Hopefully next year the world will be again a safer place with the hopes for the vaccines coming at the end of this year and then early next. So we hope to come back, and it really is an very inspirational trip for the team to just get the feeling for the region. And at the same time, it's a little bit of a privilege to be able to travel on company money. So we are happy. We would be super happy for this to happen. I was quite envious about the guys travels through Colorado with all these great pictures. Absolutely. Coming back, what they've seen, what they've experienced. So we want to do more of this. We want to be there to understand the culture, get the perspective from really your eye rather than just relying on a web camera or something. So it's a great way to do research. It's a great way to get the authenticity into the games. And I hope there will be just more of it after this weird 2020 year.
Yeah, it is a bit of a strange one, and I can imagine for a lot of people it's been quite challenging, but something that I can definitely echo working with the community is that the community has really been supporting us strongly throughout all these times. And for example, even still helping out with the Pink Ribbon charity DLCs and contributing to charities and supporting us in our work as well. And that's something I think really needs a lot of attention, is that the community are just really fantastic and have always been very patient, but also very passionate about our games and the way that they are.
Yeah, well, we've been fortunate to nurture our community, or maybe the community has nurtured us into where we are now. That this symbiosis has been working for so many years and allowed us to grow and to give people more of what they want. Initially, 10-15 years ago, it was all just kind of an experiment that we didn't know would survive. Now we believe in ourselves way more. We dare to grow. We make these huge bets on growing the team further beyond where we are now. So it's really great to see that such great results of all this work, of this hard work. And it's great to see that even though we are hiring so many new people, all this raw talent has to be plugged into the process. We still manage to do so. It's great that the senior people and the leaders that are emerging from the team are doing such a great job. And hopefully all this is going to last for a bit more. We are excited to start teasing and hinting at new stuff that we have almost ready for people starting next week. So good times are still coming.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's still a lot of exciting things for people to look forward to. Obviously, we won't say too much on that front for sure, but we are always happy to kind of show and share with the community when we can. And well, I just want to say, like, I think it's been amazing to lead up to this point, to see how the community has been reacting to all the different blog posts and kind of different promotional stuff we've been putting out as well about Colorado and leading up to it as well, which is really fantastic to see. And yeah, we really appreciate all of you, everyone who's been watching right now. I mean, there's a lot of people watching from around the world. I think we now have over 6,000 or 7,000 people now watching on Steam, and 1,300 as well on Twitch as well. And that, when you think about that, it's just incredible to think of how many people are there to support these releases.
We absolutely, appreciate you guys coming to our stream and being ready to support us at the very first minute of the launch. Hopefully you will like what Patrick and his guys created. We internally, it's got very high marks. The testing was thorough. If there is a bug or two, it's possible. We make sure to hotfix them as soon as possible. But overall, not just Colorado, but all of the game is always getting attention. We always come back to the older content to see what can be polished. You have seen that we are changing some of the economical elements in the game. We do more of like universal building blocks that will be shared across the states, that will provide identity to some businesses. That is kind of fresh take at it. We are looking into road signs. We are looking into how we build some stuff with older tools to rebuild it with newer tools. So a lot of cool stuff happening, and the team deserves high prize. And at the same time, we are totally grateful for such a great support that we see from the fan community. Thank you, guys.
100%. We've only got a few minutes left now. Time has ticked down to almost at the top of the hour to release Colorado, which is, of course, the main event here for today. And it's very, very exciting. We just wanted to very quickly remind you about our #Cruising Colorado event that will be starting as well with the release of Colorado. You can find out all the details of that at blog.scssoft.com. But I think now would be a good time to start preparing for the release of Colorado.
Yeah, I have the screen open here. I'll be doing it myself, like the old days, like back in the day before the streamed release parties. We were just be sitting in the corner of the room late at night usually, and finally fire off, press the button, and see it go. It's almost like this time without the party as during the previous DLCs. So I have the page open in the Steam partner system, and basically if I click this green button, things happen. So people have seen it previously on a video. Now I'm just describing it. There's a green button saying publish now. We are 2 minutes from top of the hour, but I think I might just as well click it now, and we'll see what happens. We have seen it on one of the previous DLCs. We've seen an error thrown back at us, and we were struggling for 5 to 10 minutes to figure out what went wrong, and it was really a moment of panic. Hopefully this time the system will just work as expected. It's really great to be able to launch the new DLC, and I wish Patrick and his guys and girls could really open the bottle of champagne now, and maybe in a way they have been in the afternoon actually. I've heard in the office, but completed, approved for release, and here we are. So by the way, meanwhile, while I was talking here, it looks like the system has been successful in publishing the DLC page, and just quickly checking it, 8,000 people on Steam on the page watching it. That's great, and the DLC is ready. So again, thanks everybody. Thanks to the creative team. Thanks to the players supporting us. And I hope people enjoy the new Cruising Colorado event. Check it out on our blog. It's a little like way to saying thank you to the players again, to give them a reason to visit all the interesting locations, all the interesting cities, all the big nodes on the network of the roads, and have some little trinket coming out of it as a reward. We would like to do more events and more quests in the games in the future. That's still a vision, to give people more reasons to come back to it. So these cruising events are just a little step in that direction. But there is a major rewrite of the back-end infrastructure that will still take some time for us to be able to be more flexible about future events and future quests, if I may use the word, around the world. But that's kind of the direction we would want to go. But even with, I say, almost 200 people in the company, there is never enough bandwidth for everything. There's so many ideas, so many things on the wish list, and we are just barely managing to take a few out of the wish list, only to see more popping into the list. So bear with us. We do our best. We will try to, we will be definitely very loyal to the genre, and there's really cool stuff still in the pipeline for you guys.
Awesome. Well, Colorado is out now. Patrick, congratulations, my friend, as well, on the release. Very, very exciting. Lots of people in the chat who have already bought it and is going and purchasing it as well.
Let's play the trailer.
Patrick, do you want to say a few words as well for yourself?
Let's play the trailer.
From yourself?
Well, honestly, seeing how people are excited and how they are already downloading this the DLC, I don't want to complicate it too much. The only thing I would like to say is that we had a great time creating Colorado DLC, and I really hope the community will have a great time playing it. Guys, enjoy it.
100%. So let's take a look at the trailer now. That's going to play on our screens. Colorado is out now. Let's play the trailer.
Cool.
And there we go. A beautiful, beautiful trailer indeed. Welcome to Colorful Colorado, now out on Steam for American Truck Simulator. We've hit the green button and it has been released. Go enjoy it. I know a lot of you are already downloading it already. And a massive thank you again for everyone who's joined us this evening on the stream. It's been a real pleasure learning about Colorado with you. Of course, again, reminder of the events that are happening with it as well. We've got Cruising Colorado coming on. So make sure to share your photos and your videos from your first trips in Colorado with us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff at SES Software. Use the hashtag Cruising Colorado. Let's see if we can't get that trending. That'll be a first, wouldn't it? We'd love to see that. So make sure to share your photos and your first initial thoughts of us. A big, big GG in the chats from everybody. So let's roll, as Poozy is saying in the chat there. In Colorado, you can now purchase it on Steam. Pavel, Patrick, Nimiro, thank you so much for being with us this evening. It's been an absolute
Thank you,
pleasure
Alex. Thank you.
talking with you, and it's very, very exciting to get to this point. Very, very excited to get into Colorado. Is there anything else any of you would like to say before we disappear?
I don't
Well,
think so.
we said our thanks to everybody, but
Yeah.
I think we should also thank Alex, our great host for the
Yes.
evening.
Yeah.
Your great
Appreciate it.
stamina
Yes, Alex.
and always making jokes. So thanks, guys. Thanks to the driver there. Thanks to Nemiro doing
Thank
the
you,
hard
guys.
work of sitting behind the wheel, steering wheel all the time. Thanks to the team, of course, and not just the map design team, but thanks to all the teams at SCS that actually make it all possible. The programmers, the researchers, the testers, the vehicle guys. Did I forget anybody? Possibly the tree team. Now we have so much specializations. The roads team, the what they call vegetables, the team creating the green parts, the shrubs and trees and everything. Thanks for our volunteer community testers. Thanks to our translators from the community through all the work. Thanks to our external partners, the guys that we work with to outsource some of the artwork. It's been a great milestone along the road. The road is still ahead of us. There's still quite a lot of it ahead of us, but we are doing great. And there's another more great stuff coming up towards the end of this year still, and definitely next year and after that. Thank you.
Definitely.
100%. All right. Well, folks, go enjoy Colorado. This is the moment you've been waiting for to get out there and truck and drive for yourself and go explore it. Let us know what you think. We're excited to hear what you think. Again, thank you for joining us for this very, very special theme. A massive thank you to all of our guests, including Annie as well as the production team behind the scenes for making it possible. We really appreciate you, and we hope that you have a wonderful night, and we look forward to seeing you in Colorado. Go check it out. It's now available on Steam. But until then, from all of us here at SCS Software, we hope that you have a wonderful evening or morning or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. We'll see you later. Thanks, everyone.
See
Enjoy.
you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Have fun. Stay safe. Bye-bye.